with your fire, but we always get what's required. So many things we desire, but I only bring you a lighter, so we can add fuel to the flames. Keep on playing games. Oh, adding more fuel to the flames. I know I'm to blame. Yeah, so I don't wanna love you, I don't wanna hurt you anymore. Oh, I don't wanna hold you, I don't wanna hurt you anymore. So I think you should walk out the door, door, out the door, door. I don't wanna hurt you anymore, more.
Hello, everybody, and
everyone.
welcome. Oh, let's go. We know what we're doing. Welcome to the 4v4 tournament. I'm Solomon, joined by Drayton. We are going to have Jace, but he's currently in an ARAM game, so he'll be here in a minute. We're here to just break down a few of the things of what's happening today, and then we will be going into our first match, which will be the Plat Gatekeepers versus the Spongebob Squarepants movie, music from the movie, something.
Yeah.
What did we see from these teams yesterday?
Well, we saw a lot of very scuffed. We saw a little bit of a very scuffed stream from Donk's perspective,
That's true.
as I believe they took the win, but uh, we didn't really see much from these teams. They weren't on stream. Plat Gatekeepers, I think they had a pretty good first day, though. I don't remember the records off the top of my head, and here we go. Plat Gatekeepers went 2-1, and SpongeBob SquarePants movie went 1-2. So Plat Gatekeeper is definitely looking like the better team coming into this, but maybe the power of the scuff will lead them to the win over Plat Gatekeepers.
This is their schedule. It doesn't actually have the scores on here. I'm not sure why, but there you go. I believe Plat Gatekeepers only actually won. So basically 1-1, and then the final game was a forfeit. So that was like an instant win. So they are 1-1 essentially, and then SpongeBob SquarePants are 1-2. So fairly close. Actually, scorelines are going to be weirder. And Jace has finally returned from his game. Hello.
Hello. I was late because I was playing ARAM. Priorities, gamers. Priorities.
Exactly. How did
I
you
was
game?
almost
Did you win?
playing Apex.
Yeah, we were absolutely piss smurfing it.
Oh, beautiful. All right, we're about to get into game, so I will leave it to you two.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. 1 second, chat. Let me hide the cam while I actually look presentable.
You can all just look at my beautiful face with my prison cell behind me. I know chat loves the prison cell, but we will be getting into this first match of the day. Plat Gatekeepers, SpongeBob SquarePants movie. We did see a little bit of SpongeBob SquarePants yesterday, although it was from the most eye-gougingly terrible stream that I've ever seen. So shout out to Donk for providing us with that and at least giving us some insight into what we're going to be seeing today. Hopefully our observers aren't going to be on the same settings. I think they're going to be slightly more set up and ready to provide some quality image. But as we get ready for this game, I mean, Plat Gatekeepers, they were able to... Oh, we are actually in the game now. So we got SpongeBob SquarePants movie. They got Cynex, Donk, Camera, Magnolia. 4 very well-known and well-respected players from BPL. Cynex had the privilege of casting him quite a bit last season. And Plat Gatekeepers, Top Thomas, Satby, Zool, and Flaws on this team. But Top Thomas is going to be getting the first kill onto Donk, going to be taking out the Sigma early, and also going to be taking out Camera. So now, SpongeBob SquarePants movie, they're going to have to be regrouping here. The spawns are slightly random, so you're not going to be able to get those solid regroups as quickly as you'd want sometimes. And now Plat Gatekeepers, they have their 2-0 lead here as we get into this. Some very similar comps, the only difference being that Donk is running the Sigma. It's going to be Flaws taking out Cynex there early, so SpongeBob SquarePants movie not off to the greatest start, but Magnolia will be taking care of Zool as the rest of the team starts to fall back in. Satby just trying to get up that charge so that they can just beam through everybody. Sigma's a much better early game pick as you're able to just do a lot more damage right off the bat. Cynex can be able to get that hog difference there onto Top Thomas. And I've heard Jace not moving around, so we should be getting him back in.
Yep, there we go. 4-4. Pretty standard comp from the looks of it. SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Luckily not deep fried now, so the full experience has been brought to you courtesy of Solomon, Tox, and all the other boys in the back. We no longer have to look through about 2 pixels per square meter from the Donk POV. And here we are, 4-4. Going to be coming up on some ultimates as well. Very, very early, actually. I thought to play for though. Ooh, okay, that's 2 quick picks though from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. And yeah, they're going to have their back out here, Dre.
Yeah, and Magnolia.
They want the team wipe.
Yep, that's gonna be a team kill. I think some people had respawns, so to get that,
yeah,
they're not gonna be able to take the kill away from Plat Gatekeepers. But SpongeBob SquarePants movie, they had a slow start, but now really coming alive here. That's gonna be the Gravitic Flux coming out.
Big from Donk.
They get rid of that. Yep, they're gonna be able to get a lot of damage off the back of that.
Yeah, and even though they aren't going to be able to team wipe them, this snowball, this hyper roll train is going to keep going. Thomas, though, puts an end to all red on the left side of the kill feed for the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Finally finds a pick for the Plat Gatekeepers onto Synex's Hog, so that's going to be a little bit of an S key for them, but so far the wave control really going for the side of SpongeBob SquarePants movie. In particular, Synex and Donk's doing so much work on this Sig Hog. Obviously, Sigma buffed last patch, ladies and gentlemen. He's able to do so much damage now. One shot, basically, anyone under 250 HP. So this McCree of Magnolia and this Baptiste of Camera are going to be in very, very deep danger from Thomas. On the flip side, Zul and Floor's also going to be trying to desperately avoid the hooks from Synex. He's got so many cooldowns forced, though, but we're still on the perspective Magnolia on the McCree, chilling, finding the off-angle, not managing to quite connect on the shots. He's got a hog to worry about on that right side, though, but Synex, he carries on pushing. He finds the McCree. That's one Cowboy down. Talent big enough, the two of us apparently. Now we go, Synex again. He gets the McCree, so SpongeBob SquarePants movie really making a statement here. Magnolia is the only Peacekeeper allowed in this chateau.
Yeah, and that was a lot of ultimates invested from Plat Gatekeepers. I mean, they used that grab, but the immortality field from Camera was just so good, able to keep the rest of their team alive throughout the entirety of that. Flaws also popped the high noon at some point, not able to get any kills after that, and the entire team just unable to get kills. SpongeBob SquarePants movie able to pick up another 4 kills on that fight, and that's just music to the ears of those players. And Donk's gonna be coming up on that ultimate, so could be seeing a Ravidic Flux. We do have that quite a few ultimates. Synex trying to get into the heads of Black Gatekeepers and stuff, and that's gonna be both windows used.
Oh, what a pull from Thomas! Beautiful pull from Thomas to find Donk, so that he's a flux out the fight, but he's probably going to respawn in half a second. Gets traded through, maybe peeked the window a bit too long. Finds a couple of shots in the body from the revolver of Magnolia. There we go. Donk respawns, hits the flux, manages to find Floors. That could be a quick dip in the lake for Thomas. There we go, yet it is. We got that plentiful yesterday. These road hogs going for a dip and a half in the Cold Chateau Waters. Good hook from Synex. Yeah, really showing up. Not known for the hog, was absolutely a DPS play and was really popping off on, you know, the Echo, the May, the Tree, and the Tracer. But we find another one. Oh my, Synex is going toe-to-toe with Thomas on the hog here, and he's popping off.
Yeah, the hog, really just the quintessential.
Oh, yeah, another one!
And he keeps on hitting hook after hook. I mean, Synex doing a lot. Sat B is going to commit the ultimate. Top Thomas as well. Every single ultimate that Plat Gatekeepers had was used there, and they only got 1 kill off of it from Camera. That is going to leave the rest of SpongeBob SquarePants quite a bit vulnerable here now as we come into this next fight. But 1 hook could change all of that, especially if it's landed on a duel. That's going to be the window, and that's going to be 2 dead bodies on the side of Plat Gatekeepers there.
A really nice investment, though. They just see them sort of on that launch sight line with nowhere to go, and they commit the window. There's no Orisa Holt to save them and to drag them back into position of the window, unfortunately, but they managed to get the picks just in time. Nonetheless, a clever use of the window there. He's got to rip it in this case, but how perfect, in particular, this comp from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Sig Hog and Baptiste just so good in this 1v1, these short little burst scenario trades. You know, 4v4 is almost perfect, in particular, for the Hog and that Baptiste. When you've got people as comfortable on them as Synex and Kamara, it really is, you know, light and day difference, I think, between Thomas and Zul right now is just generating so much value. Synex again finds a pick with this whole hog. You know, really low investment ultimate overall when you think about it in terms of the game, but just being able to generate an instant kill here in this 4v4 game mode is so valuable as he's carrying on, pushing on this road hog. No take a breather there for Thomas. He's going to get run down with that left click, and now 26-7, make that 27-7. This is going to be curtains quickly, and it's going to be looking like round 1 going to the SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
He's just on a tear. That's 5 kills.
Synex is too OP, man. Synex is too OP. And there we go. Yep. Book it and ship it. This one's probably in the bag for me. I think Plat Gatekeepers, they're going to need an answer to this hog. And I'm not quite sure if they really can. Someone nerf Synex, please. Too disgusting on this page.
Yeah,
holy
Synex
shit.
Just, oh my goodness. He's a madman on this Roadhog. I mean, you see him every single fight. He kills both tanks here. He kills both tanks, and then he kills Top Thomas again after he spawns, and he also got hooked to start that fight. Like, Synex was at the disadvantage there at every step of the way, and he's able to come out on top. Plat Gatekeepers looking like the gates wide open for SpongeBob SquarePants movie, as they have taken this first map pretty easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a bit more light in my room now. Pogu, so you can actually see my face, and then it's not just like a bright white screen. We love to see it. How are we doing, chat? Are we doing okay? What did we pred for this game? Getting some catch up because I've been a bit AFK. I woke up at like 7:15, so I've only been awake for like an hour and a half. Stuffed and human being over here. But one thing that isn't stuffed is the Hog-Bap synergy of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Great film, and they really are in that moment of the film where it is David Hasselhoff who's got them, and he's sort of surfing them back out to Bikini Bottom on that power boat. He really do be into the final sunset, and it is that point.
The Sinex Roadhog, that beautiful David Hasselhoff body, just carrying the rest of SpongeBob SquarePants movie all the way to the finish line.
Quite literally, yeah. There we go. There's the metaphor I was looking for.
It has been nothing short of dominance so far from Sinex. I mean, we're gonna be going to Kanazaka. That is gonna be the next map, my favorite map in the pool. Although it's not gonna have as much boot potential, so the Sinex ultimates probably won't be finding as much value. But I'm gonna be hoping that. I mean, there's that one corner of the map that you can get those boops off.
Yeah.
And one thing about the Kanazaka map that has been changed. We've pretty much outlawed the strategy that was used on the Kanazaka Team Deathmatch tournament flash shops. We've
outlawed the AFK in room chat after a team called themselves AFK in room. They AFK'd in room and won the thing.
Yeah, so that there will be 10 damage applied every second, I believe, if you are present in that room. So you can't really, you can't stand in there and wait for the enemy team to come to you. So this should be a much better Kanazaka than was seen at the Kanazaka flash ops.
Yeah, better plays as well, definitely high quality. One thing that we did see from Kanazaki yesterday, though, was the strong presence of Farah. Joshin had a really big pop-off performance. Same with Todos. We saw... Oh, who else did we cast in the other game as well? Who was a Farah of a...
We didn't see Recurve on the Farah.
No, we didn't, unfortunately.
Were they on Kanazaka?
No, I don't think they played Kanazaka. Yeah, they did, because he played Tracer.
Yeah, he played Tracer on Kanazaka.
He played Tracer instead. So, options for the Farah, but it looks like for now, they're just going to be going on double shield Torbjorn, so SpongeBob SquarePants movie. They're really just bathing in the grease, I guess. Donk said he was going to do this, I believe, to be fair. They were going to find a way to break it. And if you want to be this boring for $5, go for it. But by all means, we're trying to have some fun. So, fun police here of the double shield.
$5 is $5. I mean, I'd do a lot of things for $5.
True. It's an in and out double, as we figured out yesterday.
I mean, it would let me get like a pillow or something for my bed. I mean, it's kind of empty back there, but it's gonna be Sinex with the first 2 kills, just as dominant on the on this Sigma pick as he was on the pick of the Roadhog, and Magnolia also doing quite a bit of work there. Had a double kill of themselves.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's cheating in a 4v4 when you've got the turret. If you can protect the turret, it's essentially a 5v4.
Dishonest comp.
Yeah, it's a very, very dishonest comp. Double shield with a Torbjorn as well. It's going to be a mirror window in a second, though, so I expect Cameron to pop out and kind of just blow them up with no cooldowns available, though, for SATB. On the Sigma, there we go. He managed to just get the grasp up in time. Managed to back away, though, from that window. It's so much damage. Double damage coming through everyone, including the turret. So it's just, 5 levels, 5 bursts of damage coming up. The Flux is committed. Up he goes, and down into the floor. His floors gets absolutely pounded by gravity and gravity only. Nice Flux from Sinex to take that McCree down. And the gap is, with 6 minutes left on the clock, it's growing and it's widening. It's currently 5 apiece.
Yeah, these flanks coming around from the double shield of Donk and Sinex, just able to catch the enemy team off guard. But it looks like this team, SpongeBob SquarePants movie, will be caught off guard. It's gonna be Sat B cleaning up 2 kills there.
Nice.
Now the double shield bunker is gonna be moving quite a bit just to try and get that regroup going again. It's kind of hard to get a solid regroup when spawns are all over the place. That's because taking out while that Jedi was being used.
A good punish on the high noon, but looks we see Sinex on this off angle though. Not quite sure how this one's going to go, as it looks like Sark's just going to walk through. Sinex, how aggressive is he on the Sigma? Look, Magnolia being able to walk with him though, managed to find the grasp to cover that Torbjorn as he's low on health. But this entire comp is about zone control and what zone control hard, and here we go, the Molten Core, the hot fudge treatment from Magnolia. He's going to pull that out and force him all the way back, and unfortunately Top Thomas not going to be able to get out of that lava as he's shredded through that Orisa. Absolutely burnt to a crisp, sent back to the scrap heap. Goes that Omnic Horse, and looks like, SpongeBob SquarePants movie just going to carry on rolling forward. There we go. Zul puts it in the chat and is absolutely correct. It's just so much damage from this double shield composition. They really, really can't do anything against it.
They are. This is the most mobile I've seen a double shield comp, and Magnolia is gonna pull out the hammer, trying to get Sat B at the other end of that. But Cyanx gonna steal that kill with the rock. Stuck between a rock and a hammer. I don't know which one you prefer. The rock is definitely less embarrassing, but Magnolia is still going for that hammer kill. The flux comes up from Cyanx, causing a massive amount of damage to the majority of the team. As Flaw is dropping in that dragon though. He's gonna be able to take down one, but finally we're gonna see Plat Gatekeepers get a little bit of life underneath them. They've been able to take down 2 in this fight, but yet again, it's just not gonna be enough. The rest of Spongebob SquarePants movie, mostly Cyanx, to be punishing quite a bit. As I say that, he's gonna be taken down by the Orisa. Maybe got a little bit too close to for comfort on that Orisa, as it was gonna be meleeed to take that kill. And now SpongeBob SquarePants movie, they're 10 kills away. Their opponents have to get 22, and that's quite a big gap. This could be a big flank for Magnolia.
Yeah, this could be that molten core going over everyone. And we talked about the position. This quick turnaround in fights means that really once you get that team wipe, when you commit the ultimate, the enemy team can almost just come back instantly with their own ults. And if they come back better, they come back harder, they come back faster, stronger, like a Daft Punch on. It really can be ropes for you. This window is committed. They're going to aggressively push through this, but in response, Flaws with that window himself and that Bondo that came out as well, just gonna team wipe them, take them back down. So absolutely, Plat Gatekeepers right back in the fight now, with a score of 6 apart now. Plat Gatekeepers got this forward hold, they've got that downtime of the team kill, and they're going to be coming up on this Gravitic Flux from Sat B as well. Could they do it, Drayton? Could they do it? This Dragon going to make it easier to force them out from that initial position as well. There we go, Molten Core comes down to force them away from this initial sort of canopy point, I guess, but no, Zool gets taken down as Thomas was split there, pulled down from the high ground. It's just going to be a quick W key, and there we go. The lead is once again fully restored to its maximum capability, 10 apiece now for the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and looking to roll on. Only need 7 left to clean up this series.
Yeah, just the momentum with which they're using to move aggressively. SpongeBob SquarePants movie, every single time a shield is off of cooldown, they'll put it up further. And then they'll put it up further again, and now it's going to be a team kill. This time they're going to be getting back that point that Plat Gatekeepers stole from them. They now only need 3 kills left. Plat Gatekeepers a far cry away from that at 18 left. And I'm going to be honest, it's looking like Plat Gatekeepers' backs are against the wall here. They got to do something big here. This is their tournament on the line. They could be taken out of the play-ins. SpongeBob SquarePants movie would be moving on in their stead, and Plat Gatekeepers, they're just going to be taking so much spam, but Flaws is going to be the one coming out on top of that spam battle.
Good pick. Magnolia's going to obviously be getting the lightning fast respawn. Going to respawn as well, probably in the safety of his 2 shields. There we go, they went for it. The bubble committed first. That's a rock, I believe, to cancel the flux. Or Sinex popping the halt instead. Oh, everyone in front of the window though. Thomas dies. It's 1 kill left, and they're looking for the Sigma of Sat B. Can they get him? Sinex pushing so forward, so aggressively. Flaws respawns us. Can they get him? Finds the Torbjorn. 1 kill left. Going to be low on shields for both teams. This could be Kearns any second now. So much spam going on the angle. As Plat Gatekeepers definitely trying to retreat. And there we go. Sat B gets the Torbjorn that went on the flank. He's got the Molten Fudge treatment, the Molten Core. Respawned and ready to go. And looks like for now, SpongeBob SquarePants movie, okay, they're just going to chill and wait for that regroup. They really want this final hammer kill, I think, Drayton.
Yeah, I think I'd be wanting it if I was them too, but I think we really saw the spawns just be so lucky for Plat Gatekeepers. I mean, Sat B and Zool, they were on their own, and all of a sudden they have both of their teammates right next to them off of those spawns. That can be the advantage with some of the spawns, but now again, just getting so aggressive in here now. Both Immortality Fields out in the melee kill onto Top Thomas or Magnolia. He really wants that final kill with that hammer, and now it's going to be the full retreat here for SpongeBob SquarePants movie. Just trying to reset here. Camera's quite a bit low.
Yeah, no
Be investing quite a few ultimates here. You're going to be investing fully to keep Magnolia alive, not able to find anything with that. A lot of ults coming out in this fight. Both windows have been popped as well. Gravitic Flux coming out from Cyanx, and that's going to be the final blow that they needed. SpongeBob SquarePants movie, they are going to be taking the dub. They're going to be protecting that Krabby Patty secret formula. And Plat Gatekeepers, just like Plankton, they're going to be going home empty-handed.
Yeah, absolutely. Straight back to the chum bucket for the Plat Gatekeepers. And they did a little bit of trolling the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. One could say they partook in a small amount of tomfoolery, a minuscule amount of tomfoolery indeed. I think this composition is definitely one to look out for as well. Interesting to see how it's going to hold up against the hard the Hogs area we've seen by Maid Cafe Light and maybe the Ball Pharmacy Comp of the University of Portsmouth, aka Galera, who are still left in this composition. That's definitely one of the stronger ones. Just being able to play Sigma and Hog and Baptiste is just so much damage, and you build window like lightning fast. Being the only healer as well, that's been supercharged off cooldown, almost as off cooldown as the lamp is. And you've just got so many over-kitted heroes in that composition with the Torb turret, with the Molten Core to force out, 2 shields. It's just, it can be so unfair and so frustrating to play against. And that's going to be a clean 2-0. So Plat Gatekeepers, I believe, will be going home. But thanks for playing, GG. And back to the rank ladders you go, and we will salute you as you stop any boosted Moira OTPs from getting to Diamond. But your work is well and truly appreciated in that ladder environment.
Yep, so we should be waiting on the rest of the results to come through. We should have another match ready for you guys coming up as well. It looks like SpongeBob SquarePants have been the only ones to win their matches so far, so waiting on those final results to come through. SpongeBob SquarePants movie, they came in technically as the underdog, but they will be moving on through the play-in tournament. There's one more play-in match that is currently going on. That is going to be between the 8 and the 9 seed. So maybe there's going to be another upset coming up with the 9 seed taking out the 8 seed and following the suit of the 10 seed. But let's take a look at our bracket right now. SpongeBob SquarePants movie, their journey does not get easier at all from here. They're going to be going up against the 2-seeded Cuttlefish Bandits, who did not drop a single map, let alone a match in the beginning qualifiers. And Among Us Sus versus Yor, that is going on right now. The winner will face Maid Cafe Light in another quarterfinal. And then Redemption Burger versus Golira and Ignition versus Wait What. We will be covering that match soon. Ignition versus Wait What. And the winner will go on to face either Cuttlefish Bandit or SpongeBob SquarePants movie. So still waiting on the final results of the Among Us Sus versus Yor matchup. We will get that to you as soon as we have it.
Yep, there we go. Any second now. We are just waiting on results. We'll get them from the production line, from the back office. It was an interesting game, though. That was a quick 2-0. We've seen some stomps so far, and I think it's always interesting to look at 4v4. It's one of those modes that I've not studied at all. There is basically, not too much colour to be had. Fights are quick and fast. It's great for practicing play-by-play, that's for sure. The maps, I love seeing these maps, though. We've seen not too much Kanazaka, potentially Paris as well. We went to the Decider. Some of those as well. It is interesting to see how maps are transformed. I, for one, I think would obviously with the death of 2CP coming into Overwatch 2, whenever that drops, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with those 2CP maps, because I think particularly Hanamura is a very frustrating map to play. Which is obviously for Hanamura. It's really interesting. I think it could be a great 4v4 map. So we're gonna have a short break any second now, and Mega Sus versus Yor is going to be concluding hopefully in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Next match should be, according to the back room, Big Daddy Solomon, is Ignition versus Wait What. And so I believe we've not seen either of those two teams on the stream before, so that's going to be one to look forward to. Stay chill in the chat, guys. I'm probably going to get some food or wash my face. I'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody. We have got our next matchup of the day: Ignition versus Wait What. This is the first quarterfinals. We just covered the play-in for SpongeBob SquarePants movie versus Plat Gatekeepers. Among Us Sus versus Your has just started. One of the players was a little bit late, so we will be getting that result to you as soon as possible. However, that doesn't slow down our production of Ignition versus Wait What, so we should be getting into that map very quickly. We got the Ignition lineup of Maury, Hayden, Debug, and SBT. And Wait What, they've got CBT, Razor Sharp, Pongo, Kiefer, and I Toasty Toast. So these two lineups, one is going to have a sub on the bench in case they want to make up some compositional changes, want to switch around a tank to maybe fit a map better. I know we've seen some specific map compositions come out. I don't want to say metas, mostly because I don't think anybody cares enough about this format to make metas, but
the Sigarissa and the Hog have been mostly played, though we've not seen too much of anything else.
Yeah, the Sigarissa, the Hog, the Wrecking Ball, in case somebody wants to come in and switch those around. Those have really been the most fluid parts of this composition have been the tanks. Sometimes we've seen the flex switch between a second tank to a second support. We've never really seen a second DPS, although Alwyn did pull that out at the beginning and would immediately change that. So we should be getting into this Ignition versus Wait What series soon, and we'll see what each team wants to pull out here.
Here we go. And first time on broadcast for both of these two teams. Ignition, I believe, are from the Ignition org, right? The one that it's an NA-based org, right? Ignition.gg. They run their own sort of community teams and stuff.
That's Ignited,
I believe. Damn it! I got confused. But no, Ignition.
I work for Ignited. I don't know if this is their team.
No, I don't think it is. Because I believe
they have a different logo.
Yeah, I got like really confused for half a second. I'm like half asleep. Apologies, chat. But I thought potentially that was that.
Both of these teams have the same record, both in maps and matches. So this should be a pretty close matchup we have.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Be the 3 seed versus the 6 seed.
Yeah,
we saw an upset in our last matchup, so maybe we could see another one here if Wait What pulled off the win against Ignition. Although it's harder to call them. It's harder to call an upset when both teams have the same record, both in maps and matches.
Yeah, and I think if you'd have told me the rosters of that last game, I probably would have given it to SpongeBob SquarePants movie every time. This is one of the things of Swiss. You can end up beating teams you're not supposed to. You can end up getting records that look a bit dishonorable. You can be sort of boosted by results. You can be reverse boosted by results. There's no way to tell. Perhaps Wait What's games, the 3 games they played, were way harder. They played way higher quality opponents than what Ignition played, and vice versa. Maybe some team got a free pass. One of them probably played a bye team at some point, especially if one of them started 0-1. So there's potential that they could have been, 2-1 and the 1-2, 2-1 instead. So Swiss really is an open format system. Anything can go down, but when we get into this point, it is all going to be about the playing result. We have a rejoin.
It's me. Hi. I want to say that we kind of come over early. One thing I want to highlight is this is the SBT versus SBT matchup. As you'll know, we have SBT who was on Ignition, and then CBT, also known as SBT, who was on Sovereign, for example, is on Wait What. So we saw SBT and put it on the Wait What team, and then realized actually no, that's Ignition SBT. So we're just waiting for the Wait What team to actually get in lobby.
Okay.
So apparently they got parent diffed, so they're on their way.
Fair enough.
But we'll just have to stall for a little bit until we get them in the lobby.
Yep. So just waiting on that last lobby. I mean, it's pretty similar names: SBT, CBT. And when you're used to be known as SBT, I mean, it's kind of you're kind of just trying to mess with production at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we won't be too much longer. They are getting into the lobby very soon.
All right. Well, thank you, Solomon, for coming in and giving us
the lore, the Bad Pachamari lead lore. Always a fan.
Yeah,
So
I mean, more lore is better. So the more lore, the better. We will not say no to that, but hopefully we'll be saying yes to some more matches soon. As should be picking up quite soon, as Solomon said. Just waiting on that final final couple of players to get in. And yeah, so we will hopefully be getting into that match soon. I'm interested to see what the map pool is going to be that each team is going to pick. Higher seed will pick first, so Ignition will have the opportunity to kind of set the tone of where we're going. Wait, what if they do lose that first map? They will be the loser picks next map. So whoever wins will have a slight disadvantage going to the next map. But we haven't seen that impact people too much, as it's been clean 2-0s in every match, other than the 2 1-1s that we saw twice yesterday. So
Yeah, it's either gone to a 2-0 or it's gone to a map 5 in the first two. We've either seen draws, 2-1 draws with a draw in the middle, or 2-0s. There really is no room for competition, I guess.
yeah, and luckily we were able to get one of those matches, which was Gorilla versus Among Us Sus, which is
That's a great game.
I think why we're expecting Among Us Sus to put up a little bit of a fight against Yor. I mean, we haven't seen them on stream, so kind of a bit of an unknown quantity for everybody in chat. I mean, they were in the play-ins and they were very similarly seeded. So if I had to give the edge to anybody in that play-in match, it would be Among Us Sus, as they had a pretty good performance yesterday. But that doesn't really matter right now. The winner will go on, of course, to face Made Cafe Light. So as we're waiting a little bit more, as I guess, we'll pull up the bracket real quick. Ignition or Wait What, whoever wins will go on to face Cuttlefish Bandits or SpongeBob SquarePants Movie, as we had just seen SpongeBob SquarePants Movie, so maybe they'll come up on stream again. And then Made Cafe Light will face off against the winner of the final play-in, Yor versus Among Us Sus, and the winner of the play-in versus Made Cafe will go on to face Redemption Burger or Golira. And Redemption Burger, they had a bit of a rough start. They faced off against Made Cafe Light very early. They took the loss there. And Golira, they had a very solid matchup against Among Us Sus. So that could be a very well-contested matchup to see who's going to be moving on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I think particularly that top side of the bracket is one to keep an eye on. You're absolutely right. Probably going to be Among Us Sus versus Made Cafe, and the winners of that are probably going to be playing against University of Portsmouth, aka Galera. So that could be, we saw about the absolute Pharaoh Warlords all over the map yesterday in that Among Us Sus Galera series. Do we get a rematch of that, or is it going to be Made Cafe Light versus Gorilla? But even after Among Us Sus, particularly for them, they've got to go through Yor in this bracket, and then if they win that, they have to go through Made Cafe Light, our top seed. And for sure, Made Cafe are definitely here to win the whole thing. I believe they have everyone back now as well. So they're going to be at full strength if they need it, and it's going to be interesting games all over the bracket. Some predictions: I probably do expect Galera, even on pain, to beat Redemption Burger, but who knows? Again, it is what we've seen from so far is these maps are very snowballing, aren't they? So anything could go. We're going to get a quick ready check from both teams now. I think one of them is actually full and ready to go, so should be swapping over any second. Our first map is going to be, we'll get it from production any second now.
Yeah, but I mean, that top bracket is going to be a Farah Haven. It's
Yeah.
going to be Black Forest, it's going to be the first map.
Farah's so good on this map.
Yeah, Farah, we could see Farah here. Ignition versus Wait What. This is going to be Ignition's pick onto Black Forest. We're going to be coming into it right now, actually. So the wait is finally over. We're going to be seeing some pretty standard compositions. We saw this comp run all throughout yesterday.
Yeah.
We saw the Hog, the Zarya. Once that Zarya gets so charged up, especially off of the hooks of the opposing team, and just the amount of damage that wants to be pumped into your Hog, there's just so much, you can get so high charged, and that can just really lead to snowballing.
Absolutely, and it's a very snowbally game mode in itself because of the way of the respawns. First Blood, though, goes on to SBT from Kaifa on that Roadhog. It's traded back from Debug, though, so they've still got this inside room position to Ignition, and that Hog respawn is just going to come through. There we go. We see back now in the fight as almost as if nothing ever happened. Gets the bubble to leap out. There we go, and he finds the Baptiste with the help of Fan the Hammer from Debug. So First Blood went down to Wait What looks like with that inside room control, and she's been able to cycle ults. This is a really early window. Oh, nice headshot. Debug finds so many through this window. The Peacekeeper with that double damage, doing so much damage, gets hooked though. So the Outlaw's reign of terror comes to an end on the Black Forest momentarily though. But it looks like Ignition, with a 5-kill lead already this early, are going to be looking to snowball this with the commitment of the whole HUD. And obviously, still got that inside room control, which is oh so important on this map.
Yeah, and the Graviton Surge are coming up on next, and that's going to be the early one for
Grav.
Fennec. He's going to be dropping that in. It's going to get everybody. The Immortality Field is well placed, but it's not going to be alive long enough to keep everybody else on his team alive. That will be a quick set of kills going the way of Ignition, and Debug had popped that ultimate as well, but Wait What committed quite a bit as well. They now have no ultimates coming up, but SBT is going to be caught out with that hook. It's going to be a big pick off here. It's going to give Kiefer quite a bit of charge, especially off the back of that rebreather. The Hog is going to spawn right on his team, so now they're going to be waiting in this room. Still, they have that dominant position and a 6-man lead in terms of kills. Hayden has built up that window, and we've seen how much work it can do for Ignition in the past. And that's going to be a random right-click taking out Razor Sharp.
Fennec, there we go. He's so charged up on this area. 100 energy full max to be able to push through this window. His team provided lots of double damage if he needs it, but just staying on this high ground. Our Ignition, they're dominating them right now. Positional advantage, so important, clearly. And both teams, I think, have got the right gist here. They're looking to pressure out the HUD, go for the hook in from there. They'll force resources, and eventually with that hook, they'll land it. This feels the more that I think about it, similar to the first 2-2 meta we saw, where they played around that whole HUD combo of the Orisa HUD. Same thing here, you're getting the bubble and fish out, and then from there you're forcing so many cooldowns, but sometimes you just force out Life Force as Fennec 2 goes down. That's going to be almost a 1-for-1 trade on Zarya, but no. So Fennec respawns with 0 energy, Graviton Surge in his back pocket. However, but that loss of just absolute burst of nuclear energy from that left click of the Zarya means that for now Ignition's going to have a tough time retaking this into this Graviton Surge from Toast.
Yeah, and Kiefer's going to be hooked, going to be getting the hook onto SBT, taking him right out of that grab, and is immediately going to punish him up against the wall with that full hog. But the grab comes out as well. They're going to try and get a bit of investment, get a bit of payback on their investment. And it's SBT finding 2 kills early. Fennec's not going to be wanting to be left out of that, and he is fully charged up. And that is quite a lot of damage coming through, like you have said. That 90-plus charge, I mean, you're just able to do so much against these comps when there's no shield to eat that up. It's just so deadly and it shreds through everybody. And now it's going to be the window coming out. The window in this position is so powerful. It's going to be the rotation underneath. We haven't seen that yet, but it could cost the Baptiste his life. The Immortality Field and the bubble committed to save him, but it will not last for too long. He's going to be taken out by Fennec. Fennec's going to be hooked, not punished though.
Oh, the Zarya!
SBT getting the kill onto Toasty Toast, did not have the bubble available. He could save himself, and this is going to be a pretty good start for Ignition, up 22-6.
And they get the team kill as well to rub salt in the wounds. It was a bit of an overcommit on the window from is that like gay
Kid on God.
Gay Kid on God. I'll just call him On God. Why not? But that's, I've no idea how that name's legal, but that's honestly hilarious. SBT going crazy with his whole hog in that room though, finds 3, and that's an instant reverse snapback team kill. So once again, I believe 2 team kills back to back for Ignition, and they widen the gap even more. They need 4 kills now, Drayton, with 3 minutes 37 left on the clock. This has just been a roll, complete total hold control from this room. They look so practiced. Funnily enough, on this hold, they've got the Graviton Surge as well. There we go. 3 in the draft. They need 4 kills. It's going to be a cleanup off the respawn, and it's going to be game round 1 to Ignition.
Yep, just need that final kill, and they're going to get the team kill as well. Final score of map 1, 30-4. Ignition just mopping the floor with Wait What, and it's going to take a lot for them to come back in this series. I mean, most of the times when we've seen those closer series like we saw yesterday between Gorilla or Gorillera and Amenga Sus, it was a fairly close first round, but I mean, this is just a blowout. This is 5 minutes left, and Ignition has gotten 15 kills. Wait What did not get a single kill after that. They lost 4 kills, and they were just taken out of that fight entirely.
I mean, the most they got up to was 7 kills, and then they got team wiped 3 times to push them down to 4. So, just we've seen dominant performances today, but that one maybe takes the cake. That was Jesus. I thought I was watching TSM at Worlds last year with the pace that was sped run. Holy shit! NA at international event, KW. Not a league meme, unfortunately, but if you know, you know. Either way, that was so dominant from Ignition, and now, even though yes, Wait What are going to get the map pick to go into the next one, I'm not quite sure it's going to matter. Fennec or Fennekusu so charged up on that Zarya. The hog hooks were always bubbled. The windows and the lamps from Hayden came out at the right time, and they just looked like they had a good understanding of how to beat and break with the comp. They pressure out the hog, they force resources if the bubble's done down, the lamp's done down, and when these fights go on for longer, there's less resources. You've only got one lamp, that's 30-second cooldown. Bubble is 10-second cooldown. Passive burst is 12, I believe. Take a breather is 8 seconds. If you can just get to a point eventually where you trade cooldowns, and then what happens is there is a gap, there is a window where no defensive cooldowns are available for either team. And that's when either Zarya, ladies and gentlemen, can just kind of run at them with full energy, and that's what we saw Fennec do, and just kind of killed them all from there. It was a one-man wrecking crew at times on that Zarya, so charged up, and that's exactly why you play the Zarya, to be honest. Yes, the bubble onto the hog is good, but the later the fight goes on, really the good Zarya players in this tournament just threaten to end it by themselves with that Herculean amount of energy that they can generate throughout the fight.
Yep, and we're going to be coming into this next map, Chateau Guillard. We could be seeing some ball coming out here as well. I think, they realize that they need to be running a different composition, and I say that they're going to run the exact same composition that they ran at the end there. Only difference between these two teams is going to be the Sigma compared to the Zarya. The Sigma, you don't have to worry about getting charged up, and if you're Kiefer and your team is getting wiped every other fight, I mean, you're not going to be able to build up that charge over time. So maybe this switch over is going to be valuable. We can already see that Toasty Toast is going to be hooked in there early. He can force out the Immortality field, but there's not really much to follow up on it.
They don't quite manage to kill him, so not only do they almost get him to 1 HP and give him 40 energy on a free bubble, they also give Hayden on this Baptiste 60-70% on his ultimate. Already we see how quickly it comes up in double shield. Normally it's going to come up even faster in a 4 versus 4 comp with the only healer, and there's no shields present at all. High ground control well and truly in the favour of Fennec. There we go, yet again this area. Always, every time I look on his screen, he's above 50 energy.
My goodness.
He decides to push, both times decide to push, they just get wiped. The High Noon in response from Edge Razor Sharp, not quite managing to find anyone. This SBT spawn is going to be good momentarily though. But yeah, Fennec just absolutely farming towards his Graviton Surge, and if they need it, Hayden has got this window to do double damage to their entire team if they choose so.
Yeah, and Hayden's going to be forced to look around for a mini. He's going to find that in that small room on the side. He can just very quickly join his team back with those jump boosts. And now, I mean, Water in a position where they have to take this high ground. Again, Toasty Toast is going to be hooked, and now they're going to have to kind of think of another way to attack this. I don't know if coming at them from that same angle is the best idea. They're going to be rotating around. I mean, you can really come at them from behind. I think that's what they're going to be going for here, and potentially be going over and coming at them from just a slightly different angle. But actually, the full rotation is going to come around. They're going to contest them on some high ground of their own. But I mean, SBT has that whole hog, so you got to imagine. They're just trying to think this through. I think
it could be a spot to deposition, but I think it's important. Let's see how good their double shield macro is, because what they can do is if they can hide this lamp from Gated on God. With this window, if it's a window mirror, Hayden's mirror is going to be out in the open, but most importantly, his lamp is going to be very easily destroyed. However, if they can take the good angle, Gated on God's lamp should be safe just because of line of sight and hard cover. But it looks like no, so they're going to have Razor Sharp on this off angle. That's the flux that comes up there. Thanks to hook onto the retreat, so that's going to be one piece down off the high ground already. Can Bieber scramble back to his team? Whole hog comes in there, that's going to be off the map. SBT finds 2 environmentals with that whole hog, so he saves that fight there. So many ultimates committed from Wait What, but all saved by the pig of SBT for now.
Although the kill advantage is going to go the way of Wait What, I mean, they've brought this back, and now they're going to have that high ground control. And now it's our turn to see if Ignition are able to assault this high ground well. They were able to hold it really well, and SBT has been hitting hooks all day. But when you're trying to hit them from below, it's so much harder. The floor can cause it to break. So they're going to have to play as much safe. I'm not sure why Kiefer is dropping them. I guess they want to get aggressive, but I'm not sure if that's the play. Especially when you have that shield, you can have so much protection on that high ground, and Kiefer's going to be immediately taken down and punished. What an amazing coordination on that hook. They're going to immediately take him down. The jump pad High Noon is going to be hooked beautifully. SBT, an absolutely insane hook there just to cancel that ultimate. And now they've taken back their three kill lead that they had earlier in this game, looking to extend it a little bit more with a kill onto Kiefer, and they've just been doing so well at just controlling this. That's a big whole hog though.
Toasty Toast gets 2 with the environmentals. That's already 4 or 5. Keep count in the chat how many have been sent into the icy cold waters of Chateau Guillard this map. It's going to get more and more as this series progresses. Beautiful hook though, from SBT to start the entire thing. Unfortunately, though, is Wait What's still in control of this high ground, but Tifa, it's all about that Sigma shield and that management. You cannot get hooked by the Roadhog. Once that shield goes down, you are going to be so vulnerable. This Zarya right click does not care about your grasp. This hook does not care about your grasp. Flashbang able to cancel it as well, so it really is just a waiting game. Tifa needs to be perfect with his shield management if he wants to keep his team alive, healthy, most importantly keep himself alive. That's the hook that narrowly just misses onto that Sigma, but he's got the flux for the recontest and the go button here, Drayton.
Yeah, it's been such a game of high grounds here. Wait What has seemed to not necessarily want to hold them themselves, but I mean, if you're going up against Ignition, who has the man advantage, they are able to take down the Cool. They are able to even out this series so far, and actually almost take the lead there just for a second. They should be able to get that final kill, and for the first time in this series, Wait What have taken the lead. They've had to play so aggressively, but it looks like that aggression has cost them this high ground here as Ignition have looped back around. They don't have the man advantage to hold on to it for too much longer for now, but SBT taking down the Baptiste is going to be quite valuable. That's going to be a whole hog just to get rid of SBT, get out of my face.
Nice.
One.
Nice, and Toasty hits the no you button on the SBT hog. That's 2 whole hogs traded, but Toasty comes out on top, high ground control, and I do like the tempo and the pace at Wait What are playing. And once again, now they have gotten back to this high ground control. Ignition's counter. Not really sure how well it can push into it. What it does want to do, though, clearly with this quick flop, is they want to brawl. Hayden needs to get into them. If he can land a shield boss on either of the tanks or the Baptiste, it could just be an insta-kill. But again, look at this high ground. They're going to push on from Toasty. He's got this hook ready to go. They're going to have the shield. Naked on God, going to have this window coming up anytime soon, so this Peacekeeper from Resurge is going to be even more deadly. They find the hog. Steinoon taken down, so Debug does manage to find his reverse cowboy after that Butcher Tynoon.
It's reverse cowgirl, first of all.
Okay. Okay.
Second of all, I'm not sure how I feel about the Brig pick, but they are going to be able to get some value out of it. I feel like if you're able to get more value on the Baptiste, especially in these high burst damage comps. I mean, if somebody gets hooked, you can throw the window, but I guess you're trusting Fennec to always have that bubble available. Kind of risky, but they do now have the 2-kill advantage. Now 2 minutes left. I don't think this is going to be a map that goes that ends through time, I believe. And the ultimates are coming online soon for Wait What. They have almost 4 of them above. They have 4 of them above that 67% mark, so two-thirds of the way there. Kiefer looking to get that Gravitic Flux coming up soon. They can get that uncanceled, but that's SBT able to take down Toasty Toast. He's taking him out. It seems like every single fight here, and the high ground control is just so valuable here for Ignition. Gravitic Flux coming down. High Noon as well, but the High Noon is going to be killed and punished instead. Hayden is going to get the better of that support matchup, but SBT has sent Kiefer off of the side of the map. SBT trying to stay alive in this corner. He's also going to find another one with the environmentals. Now a 5-person kill lead here as we come into the last 50 seconds, and that's going to be another big hook. I think Wait What, they're at the end of their ropes here. They need to get a kill every 8 seconds to be able to come back into this series. And if you're Ignition, you can just run and hide. It's not the honorable thing to do. I don't recommend it, but you definitely could just try and ignore all fights. They're not going to opt for that strategy. They want more kills, and they're going to get another 3 in that fight off the back of the grab, make that 4, and now it's 10 kills in 20 seconds. I don't think that's possible for Wait What. The Reinhardt coming out from Kiefer is going to be opting to go into that play, and SBT just gets a 4-man there. Oh my goodness, he's just absolutely going insane in the last 10 seconds of this fight, and it's going to be Wait What. Their tournament hopes have ended at the hands of Ignition as they take a dominant 2-0 win.
Well, I'll have to get garlic bread, and Ignition won the thing. Well, good job on the solo clash from Drayton. We're going to see the play of the game here. So they have this high ground control. It's basically where I left off. Nice whole hog from SBT to push him off. Does he get the other one? I believe he's going to get one there any second now. Yep. Okay, so Ignition 2-0. Looks like they managed to wrangle it back after a very dominant first map, and they managed to extend that lead. That high ground control looks so important. And nice swaps as well. I believe that Brig fight definitely managed to get them onto the high ground. at least. But yeah, obviously this Hod Zarya Baptiste comp is so deadly, especially after the Hod buffs as well. That's so much damage. We'll be surprised and happy to know at least chat I did manage to slightly overcook the garlic bread. So
Nice.
it's a bit pod, unfortunately, but casting is more important, guys. Held it off as long as I could. Shame I couldn't go and get it now, but could potentially be able to throw it over to a break as we're going to be waiting on results of the other matches. I need to eat my food, so I'll leave it over to Drayton to throw it up as I go and eat.
Yep. So we do have most of the matches have come to conclusion. We have they are moving on. Among Us Sus were taken out 2-0. Galera, they have won 2-0 as well. Cuttlefish Bandits in the first 2-1 of the series of this event have taken that win. They will face Ignition in the semifinals. Galera waiting to see if they're going to be facing Yor or May Cafe Light. That's going to be an interesting matchup. I think, personally, I want to see the Battle of the Pharas. I don't know if Yor has a great Phara player, but May Cafe Light, I mean, they have Recurve, and Galera, they're going to be put to the test against Todos like we saw yesterday. I mean, Joshin had to come up big for his team every single time in order to keep that series close. Unfortunately, they were taken out, so we're not going to see that rematch. But Galera have this. We have three of our four semifinalists, if I can understand how words work in the English language. But we're waiting on Maid Cafe Light versus Yor. That will get us our final semifinalist, and then the winner of those matchups will face off in the finals. And that's going to be, the winner takes home $25, which can be split among all the players equally. So if you're a 4-man team, you're getting like $5.25. I mean, you could spend that well. That's some spending money. Oh, Jace has muted himself, and I don't think he knows.
No, because I was eating, so I didn't want to get the churn through stream. I just said that, yeah. So we'll start to a break any second now, but that $25 cash prize is going to be. I'll happily match it as well. I've been a bit scuffed human being today as well. I feel bad. Big up Drayton for doing the solo cash for half of that game. I turned up late. I went halfway through to get garlic bread. Unfortunately, I just had a crazy busy week, and it's I'm all over the place. So it do be like that sometimes. However, we got a break so I can eat food, and we're going to be back and ready to go for hopefully the winners of Yor versus Maid Cafe Light, and the winners of those will play the University of Portsmouth AK Gorilla. That is the match I want to see. Whether we get that one is a different question, but I think that's the one that should be on everyone's mind, everyone's cards at the top of bracket. Potentially two of the higher teams, two of the better teams, in my opinion. It's Maid Cafe that narrowly just lost in OD to Drifters, going up against University of Portsmouth, the current champions of the UK collegiate scene. If we get that match, it's going to be an absolute clash of the titans. I really, really want to see that. As much as I don't want to see Yor drop the tournament, we've not casted them yet, I believe. But that's going to be it for me. We'll throw it to a break, so don't go anywhere. And stay vibing in the chat. Any people lads in the chat for the Gorilla Boys. And I'll see you guys later. Don't go anywhere.
Yep. everybody, and welcome back. We have our first semifinal match of the day. We have Ignition versus Cuttlefish Bandits, and then after this, we'll be going into the second semifinal, where we're going to be covering both on this stream. It's going to be Gorilla, or Golira, if I can pronounce it correctly, versus Maid Cafe Light. So we will be seeing that Pharah matchup that I was asking for earlier.
Yes, absolutely. And that one is going to be a hell of a game. But for now, we've got an even bigger hell of a game. Cuttlefish Bandits, we have not seen them on stream yet. Ignition have just won a very, very dominant sort of two-map airport level speed run against Wait What. So Ignition are fired up, they're ready to go, they're warm. Cuttlefish Bandits took the win against Spongebob Squarepants. So sayonara to them. There shall be no Krabby Patty secret formula ending for them. You know, the scene in the film where they just kind of get dried up. The submarine divers place. Yeah, the film ends there. Pretty much. It was a 2-1 though, so hey, at least they managed to take a map. But I think pretty much this is the top 4 teams of the tournament. So we've got 2 absolute bonkers level matches for you guys. On casts, it's going to be a lot of fun. Starting off with Ignition Cuttlefish Bandits. Production, if we could get a look at the Cuttlefish Bandits roster, please. Just get a quick look at the roster side by side. Here we go: Martini, Fusion, Cuttle, Grim, and Washed E-Boy.
I know that guy. Hold on.
Who?
I know Washed E-Boy. He didn't tell me he was going to be in this tournament, if that's who I think it is.
Who is
I'm
it?
going to be very mad at him if it is, and he didn't tell me. But might not be him. He just has an account named that. But yeah, so Cuttlefish Bandits, they could be I might know somebody there, so I'm kind of biased, but I mean, we saw Ignition do very well.
We did. I don't recognize any of the Cuttlefish Bandit names from BPL. Obviously, I only did a season, came in basically halfway through. I'm sure if there is any overarching storyline that we've missed, Solomon will pop into VC and provide us with the BPL lore once again. But for now, I don't think there's any sort of grudge matchups between them. However, can Cuttlefish Bandits take down this essentially undefeated Ryan Zaria Baptiste comp that Ignition are playing so well? Debug as well, who we didn't mention on that McCree, getting so much work on that Cowboy. And really just being able to pop off with the resources provided, with the space and resources provided to him by Hayden and those 2 tanks. So it's going to be... I'm so excited for this game. It's going to be so gas. It's going to be so good. I'm super hyped up for it. So just waiting for the ready check into the lobby any second now. First map going to be, I believe, pick for the side of Ignition. No, for the pick of Cuttlefish Bandits, right? Or is it going to be Ignition?
I think it's Cuttlefish Bandits, as they were the higher seed. So we'll be seeing shortly.
Forest.
Yeah.
So it's like Ignition being on the right side, I believe that makes them the lower seed, and we're going to get this spawn. If Ignition did just manage to spawn in this room, no, they do not. So Cuttlefish spawn in this room, but they're going to be on a comp that is potentially going to be...
Take advantage of it.
Yeah, so Ignition going straight back to that godforsaken room that they all know and love, and they've been camping in since 1945. And it's up to Martini, particularly, to try and generate this space and generate this displacement so that Cuttle on this Echo with the pocket of Grim can take them out. Fusion on this Jason for the off angles. It's going to be a very, very patient first couple of minutes here. It's essentially going to be a fencing match in between a couple of stare-offs as both of these teams really posture each other up.
Yeah, and it's going to be Cuttlefish Bandits that is poking into this room. Fusion trying to build up that ultimate. This is the first time in a while we've seen the double DPS. We saw it a bit on this map in the first match that we casted yesterday, which was I believe it was Maid Cafe versus.
Oh, that's the first pick.
Yep, that's a big first pick onto Martini, and now Ignition have pretty firm control over this room, but one pulse bomb that sticks from Fusion could be it. And with as many big targets as they have on Ignition, that could be a very promising opportunity for Fusion. He's looking around now, see if he could get that attached to the Hog, or maybe the Zarya. Still poking, waiting for it to come out. There's so many ultimates coming online for Fish Bandits. They almost have all 3.
Copy. Good bubble gets instantly popped up by the window. Perfect window timing from Hayden. They're going to find 2 off that, and it's new map, new team, same place, same story there for Ignition, just looking so comfortable behind Fennec and Hayden on this Iron Hog. They do manage to reset the charge there from Martin, and he's made the front swap over. So the Hog shot gets sent off almost on the edge. SBT, there we go,
Nobody's
gets the
done it.
follow-up to send him down into the, what even is that? Is that like a...
It's off a cliff. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it's anything else.
Big Grav comes in though, doesn't manage to find anything. I was on about the water the water wheel thing on the side of the old mill. I guess it's a mill wheel, but one wheel that's definitely rolling and at much faster speed than that water wheel is the train of Ignition. They're finding themselves 9 kills up, 5 minutes 54, and Fennec going to be getting onto that charge. He's looking already decently charged already. Hayden, once again, though, has already got this window, so this could be really brutal if Cuttlefish decides to peek this out at the runtime. Window first from Hayden.
Yep, window comes out. Not be able to find any kills. Cuttlefish Bandits have done a good job of moving around it. The ultimate's coming out now for SBT. He's going to get the whole hog. Just try and zone people away, maybe get a kill or two. Not going to find any of that, though. Fennec now pushing in, coming close to that Graviton Surge, and at 100 energy, it should come very fast. Already at 90%. Started that fight at 70. Just 2 right clicks to get to that point. They're going to have that grab ready online, but I don't know if there's going to be anything to really follow up on it. Whereas Cuttlefish Bandits, if they want to drop in that grab, they do have the whole hog, but the grab comes out first for Fennec. He's going to be able to get a lot of value as long as they can break that immortality field, which they do. Now 12-1, the double-digit lead has come out for Ignition, and they're going to keep on pushing that on. You don't need any remix to this Ignition.
Nope. They do actually be fresh out of the kitchen. I rate the reference train. Good one. Oh, the hook from Martini finds that Baptiste, that he's fallen and no lamp, but the counter grab from Fusion came out too late, but most importantly I think Fennec hitting it on the race surface allowed them, made them unable to hide lamp. Debug going for this window, high noon though, that insult to injury, finds the headshot, oh, straight through the eyes of Cutler though, but he did manage to find that Zarya, so once again Fennec has his energy reset, and now it looks like Cuttlefish Bandits finally grasping at straws as they manage to, through the skin of their teeth, gain control of this all-important middle room on the Black Forest.
Yeah, now the momentum seems to be going the way of Cuttlefish Bandits. They have that grab online, they're going to pop it out early, and they're going to be getting a lot of value through that. The window coming out as well. Now going to be 3 kills, make that 4, and they've taken a kill away from Ignition. That's going to set this at an 8-14, and they can kill this kill onto SBT. They've now closed it to within 5 kills. Cuttlefish Bandits coming alive now.
There we go, it's like a 6-kill swing now as it's 10-14, so that Ignition lead disappeared faster than you could say Roadhog. His Fusion now got so charged up on this high ground. That's the hook that comes in from SBT though. In response, both of these hogs going fishing and finding everything. This is almost overfishing. I think the EU will have to intervene with this level of overfishing. This is definitely post-Brexit restrictions here coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, they found way too many salmon. Have both of these Roadhogs, in particular, these are outlaws-looking North American cowboy-shaped salmon, and very rare breed, only found exclusively in this Black Forest, I believe. But now, we talk about same stories, and the usual, Hayden got window. So let's see if they can combat that. They've managed to wrestle inside control. Once again, this lamp not quite coming up to made any dives, but Ori can use it though.
Yeah, and the pick from Cuttle is going to set Ignition running back a little bit. They still have that window, so they're able to apply pressure on a Cuttlefish, but that Graviton Surge doesn't care much about that window. They're able to find 1 with the Deadeye, but their counterparts have found 3. Now back to a 4-point game, make that 2, as now they get that team kill swing, and they're able to swing it 2 extra kills their way. Now they're just looking to keep this momentum going. Now 18-16, 12 kills and 14 kills for Ignition and Cuttlefish Bandits respectively to get this win. But Cuttlefish have had a lot of momentum going their way. Let's see if Cuttle can get quite a few with this ultimate. It's going to be the whole hog coming out from SBT, as Cuttle is forced to use that ultimate just to zone out a bit and protect his team. Is not going to be able to find anybody with it. But now the ultimate banks have pretty much reset. Both ultimates that each team had have been used. It's going to be up to the individual play here. Martini looking around for that hook is going to just miss wide right on that Zarya. Not going to be able to find anybody with that, but but his counterpart in SBT is able to find Cuttle. So now they're down a man and down 3 in the scoreboard, are able to get a kill, get a hook onto SBT. Not able to convert that into a kill though, but Cuttle is able to take down the better, or take down the other, if I could speak. But it's going to be the team kill that is going to send things finally in Cuttlefish Bandits' way, and they don't want to end this fight now. They're moving in on this room.
Yeah, they're going to keep going, and like a fish out of water, surprisingly, they're doing really, really well. This Graviton Surge comes in for Fusion, it comes in nice and early. No lamp available, and how low is everyone at Ignition basically clinging on to the lives of that immortality field. Once that drone goes, Hayden's going to have to heal up his team lightning fast. It looks like Cuttlefish, yeah, they've smelt blood in the proverbial water. They're going forward. Martini's going to get this peek with this hot hook. That's the flashbang on to Fenikusu there. Not managed to find anyone from Cuttle, but Cuttle doing really well. The team is named after him, and he's getting definitely plenty value on this McCree, and particularly against Debo, who's popping off, but no. Looks like Ignition have had enough. Their flame is well and truly a spark. It is a light once again, ladies and gentlemen. That's a team kill. So 3 team kills in this game already. It's back and forth 4v4 action. You love to see it. Both teams brawling at full maximum capability, and 40 seconds left, 5 kills apiece. Ignition got this room hold control once again.
Yeah, this room hold has been so valuable all day, and now it's going to be the kill that sends it to a 6-person lead on the side of Ignition. Make that 8, as now 2 kills come the way through Fennec, and SBT is going to be able to take down another one in the process. Just 2 kills left on the board for them to get. We're going to get that with the Deadeye, not able to find anybody with it. However, this grab could be very important for Ignition. They are going to pop that ultimate, but they've lost their Baptiste in the process, so not going to be able to find much follow-up, but they are able to find out at least one. Cuddle is going to be able to take it down, and Grim's taken down as well, and that is going to be the map. Ignition win, but Cuttlefish Bandits put up a very good fight.
They absolutely did, and it was 19-24, but just that burst of aggression that came in, Ignition really put their foot on the gas and absolutely floored it all the way to Mach 10, 110 miles an hour, going Need for Speed level of just pure, unadulterated aggression. Speed, violence, momentum, I believe, is the saying, and like the doc, it almost felt like they were cheating at times. You know, it's definitely a wife check on the cooldown management a bit there from Cuttlefish Bandits, but they were just, I think, drained out. You know, the lake had run dry, and you know, I don't know too much about marine biology, but I believe when a lake or any body of water runs dry, fish don't have the best time.
Yeah,
that's
generally.
definitely what happened, and Ignition kind of just choked them out there. They put them on the fryer, they flipped them around a few times, and they served them with a nice portion of rice to get themselves within match point, so potentially could be more salmon on the menu next month.
Yeah, and Cuttlefish Bandits, they do have somebody on the bench, Wash to E-Boy. He has not made his debut in this tournament yet. We could be seeing that. That'll give them a bit of flexibility here. And Ignition, they've got off to a good start there, but they almost lost that lead about halfway through. They did end up falling. It was like 21-20 at some point in favor of Cuttlefish Bandits, and they were just able to really bring that back, but unfortunately they weren't able to keep that momentum. I don't think they found another kill afterwards, at least until the very end. So Cuttlefish, it's going to be their map pick now. They don't want their series to end here. They want to make it to that finals and potentially get their hands on $5 a piece.
Absolutely, and it is very, very winnable for the Cuttlefish Bandits. However, let's talk about ways that they can kick back. It's just, I think they've got to understand when Ignition have room presence and they can try and maybe play a comp to displace it. I think they gave away, unfortunately, a very, very few valuable kills at the start. I believe it was 8-1 at one point. From that ball echo comp, I don't think they're going to be trying that anymore. Brawl, definitely this way to go. This Hogs area seems almost immovable.
Necessary.
Yeah, and I wonder if they'll play Orisa to go for the Halt Hooks to maybe pull someone out from around the corner, maybe a Hanzo or a May. I think Baptiste, Orisa, Hog, and May could be very, very good. They're going to be going over to Chateau Guillard Ignition. Kind of just sped run Guillard, and they look like they have some very set straps of where they want to hold. If they get the favourable spawn, this could be an early lead for the boys in black there on this away side, cutting out the flame. But Fenikusu is going to start on this Sigma, so they've got that shield advantage. It looks like, yeah, there we go. They spawn perfectly on this oh-so-favoured sort of corner around the statue, and now it's going to be on Cuttlefish Bandits with basically their imitation comp. It's going to be on them to try and force them off this advantageous spot.
Yep, not going to be a substitution coming in for Cuttlefish Bandits. So it's going to be just the same lineups that we saw last time. Ignition this time, they are going to be running that Sigma that we saw from a couple teams so far. They're not going to be opting for the Zarya. If you have this high ground, I think the Sigma is a better option just because of that shield that you can use to prevent hooks. But if you're on the low ground, you kind of need that Zarya to eat in some of that spam damage that's going to be thrown at you from the Hog and the McCree. So it's going to be up to the Hogs are going to have to get the opening picks here. The hook again blocked, but SBT is going to drop down, probably ill-advised. He's not going to be punished quite yet, so he's going to be able to get back up to that high ground with the help of the jump pad. So now just holding this high ground, and the shield management from Fennec is just so good, saving it for when he knows the hog hooks are available. And as soon as he sees that flying meat hook coming his way, he's just going to throw out that shield to prevent it. And again, it works. That is 3 blocked. Actually, no, I was wrong. Finally, the hook comes out, and SBT is on the low ground alone. All the healing being pumped into him, as well as an immortality field, is not going to be enough to keep him alive here. But Debug has quite a bit coming his way. That's a massive flashbang, but it's not going to be able to find much as his Sigma is taken down. He has no protection in that high noon. Now SBT, he's looking for a kill, but that jump pad is going to be his saving grace and his downfall there, as it forces him to miss the headshots. And now it's going to be Cuttlefish Bandits on this high ground with 4 ultimates right now.
Good push onto SBT. They spot him off on the respawn, and the fish became the fishermen there. Oh, that's a really early Graviton surge from Fusion. Look at, I believe that's Hayden pinned on the other side of the wall, so that lab was unable to save Fennec. He's going to go over to the Zarya, I think, nice option. Window committed though from Grim, didn't manage to find anything, and it's basically every ultimate except the whole hog for Martini available instantly. And talk about Martini, I think more of a champagne, the level of class that he's been on this Roadhog so far, and that's a right click from downtown. Steph Curry range from Fusion, as he's so charged up, looking to chew through the HP of Debug. He gets him, and now it's just W key 1, 2, 3, 4. Fusion, does he find the team kill by himself? Basically going to be 1v4ing on this area. Plays hard cover almost perfectly, and it's 11-1 now. Cuttlefish Bandits, they've showed up, they've shown impressed. They are not ready to go home yet. Fusion says, get on my back, team, and I'll carry you guys all the way through to the finish line on Chateau Guillard on this second map.
Cuttlefish Bandits are not playing around anymore. They saw that first map go the way of Ignition, and they realized that they had gone undefeated. They had not dropped a single map before the playoffs. They're not going to start doing it too much now. It's not exactly what you want to do in this scenario. But now it's going to be the ult coming out that is going to save. That's going to try and save this push, but Ignitioner is going to push right through with the help of that immortality field. Martini is going to be taken down here, and all of a sudden it's only a 5-kill advantage, what used to be 10. And now the grab coming out from Fennec as well, so now it's a 3-kill lead. Make that 4 as Fusion is able to get the better of Fennec. Going to be resetting that Zarya charge. The Fusion is also going to lose his life though, so now both Zarya's down to 0 charge. Debug going to be taken down, but it could cost him his life. But SPT, he's found out by the hook of Martini, and he's there to save his support.
There we go, absolutely savior from the cocktail, from the, what is a Martini one? I believe it's is it a spirit? I have no clue, I don't drink. Anyway, Martini being absolutely class on this Roadhog. Speaking of class on Roadhog, SPT been all over this kill feed himself, finds that hook melee combo onto Grim. So just trying to one-shot that. Baptiste almost manages to get him out the window again. So these spawns going from bad to worse for the Cuttlefish Bandits. They've managed to pull themselves out into a 3-kill lead though. And this is going to be no lamp now for Grim, and this is eventually going to be the go button. There we go. Ignition looks at them. They see the lamp go down, they commit their own, they go very, very deep. But Martini though finds 2 to flip it, could potentially send Fennec off the map. He's going to be so charged up. He really needs to keep hold of his energy and of his life force. Fennec, okay, I thought he was going to go in there off the jump pad. That's going to be a flank window from Hayden, and now this high ground angle over Fennec. He's going to be beaming. There we go, finds Grim, and it's just, it's so one-sided right now. These areas providing so much momentum to each team, and if they need it, Fennec can just WT with the grab. There we go. Lamp has finally come back though for Hayden to Grim's team. Grim's lamp falls almost immediately, and now it's just a case of snowball after snowball, pick after pick for the side of Ignition. They're just getting advantage after advantage here, Drayton.
Yeah, the fight hasn't ended in a while. I mean, it's just been a complete turn of the momentum here. I mean, Ignition has gone 15 on a 15-6 kill run, and it's just continuing as they just keep putting the pressure on. They keep W keying. They're not letting the respawns get back to Cuttlefish Bandits, and it's just pure aggression. Every time they want to loop back around, they're giving Ignition the advantageous position, and they're able to find 2 off the back of it. And now Ignition have taken a 5-kill lead, and this is not what you want to see. At the very least now, Cuttlefish Bandits are going to spawn together as they all die, but if you're Ignition, you just keep on pushing to the gas, and you have that lead foot, and you don't let up.
No, absolutely, and they're flooring it right now, going full charge in their, it's honestly a sports car at this point. It's a Bugatti Veyron with the level of aggression, the level of speed that they are going with. And it's classy as well. Sanikusu and SVT been all over this kill feed. Just the Hogs area clearly so pivotal to this comp, and they're getting so much work done as well. And this Graviton Surge that could come in from Fenikusu any time could be really the final nail in the coffin. Going to scramble, or is Lamp needed from Hayden? Potentially going to need it. No, that's a else. So, yeah, should be Lamp forced any second now. But Fennec just in the ground. He's staring death in the face and says, I do not care. Run at me. I dare you. Over 85 energy. And it's just the murdered beam. That's the team kill. As well, Fenikusu on this area so charged up and just doing Mother Russia proud, really bringing communism to the French chateaus here on this second map.
Yeah, and it's an 11 kill lead for Ignition, and I don't want to say that's unwinnable for Cuttlefish because we saw a similar advantage that Cuttlefish Bandits had earlier. They got kind of stalled out around that 11 kills, and now they're going to be looking to get some aggression here. Just a nice turn on that window to give the tanks some room to work with here. Ignition is forcing Cuttlefish Bandits back. Got a little bit confused on who we were spectating, but that flash is going to come out, not able to get the Zarya, but Cuddle is going to die. Martini falls as well, and this could be curtains as 3 have fallen. It's now 1 kill away, and Ignition, they will be punching their ticket to the finals over Cuttlefish Bandit, the 2-0 win.
Yeah, it will be sushi. My God, it will be sushi for Ignition as they get it. And ironically, SBT managed to find that first pick onto Cruttle when he absolutely caught him, hook, line, and sinker, ladies and gentlemen. He took the bait out with the peak, and he was sent all the way back into the ice, and he's going to be into the oven later to be put on a tasty with the side of rice and maybe some peas or hot sauce. Not sure how you guys like your salmon. Salmon and rice, I think, most commonly with me. Not the biggest fan of sushi, however. I think Ignition clearly are. They went for so many picks with that hook of SBT and the fish. It was just a bountiful harvest for them at this point. So they're going to be going through. That's going to be Ignition versus the winners of Delira and Maid Cafe in the finals. But whoever comes out of that game in that top of bracket should be very, very scared. Ignition looked so well practiced, so well rehearsed. And that's a statement victory against one of the second best seeded.
Yep, they will have their tournament run ended here. Cuttlefish Bandit will be going home empty-handed, and I did get confirmation that Wash D-Boy was somebody that I knew, so unfortunate for them. I was rooting for them a little bit, but I guess that kind of cast a curse at them. But they will face the winner of Maid Cafe Light versus Golira, which will be our next match on stream. Then we'll be going straight into the finals, where one team will walk home with $25.
Cash prize at hand. All these teams have come to play. No, sorry, they really don't want to mess around. I'm just itching to get into this second match. Let's set the scene. Maid Cafe Light, Ahi, Recurve, Peepo. I've forgotten the name of the port. Let's go. Is Pandemonium, of course. How can I forget Pandemonium? Was so good on the Baptiste as well. Distortion on the bench for the victory ride after honestly a very unsuccessful season with Night Drive in the DPL, but hey, some teams have got to be down there, and it unfortunately was that Night Drive roster, but he's managed to hop on to the Maid Cafe Light, and hopefully that'll be a good taste of victory for Distortion. Not quite sure that he's used to that. But Delaware, one team that are absolutely used to success is the University of Portsmouth, Fluky Boy, IW, Sheep, and Todos. This really is the core of this University of Portsmouth team. God knows what would happen if they let Rift play on this team. He's Rift, the hit stand for the University of Portsmouth. He's absolutely cracked, particularly on the Ash and on the McCree as well. I think it'd probably be a bit unfair if they let Rift, even on 120, 140 ping, if they let him play on this McCree, but no slouch is Todos and Sheep, as they were absolutely farming on that pharmacy duo all throughout the day yesterday, up against very strong opponents and doing so well. This ping advantage, not quite sure how it's going to play out in terms of the matchup we're probably going to get, which will be Hog Zarya. I think they might start on this ball Echo comp though. However, will Galera, and we'll see how they go from there. But Maid Cafe Light, they're going to be there and ready to go. They've come off of 2-2-0s, I believe, and they definitely want to win the thing. It'll be nice to see the boys again and see if they can stick it together. But either way, whichever team has got to beat here, let's hope that they really bring it to the wire. They go tooth and nail, and if they've got enough strength in them to be able to carry that through into a finals match against Ignition.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the FAR matchup that we wanted to see. This kind of the composite. This is the FAR matchup of the century, really. We don't really. We're gonna see the best of Bad Patch Amari League go up against one of the best in Britain. Maybe the ping will give Recurve a little bit of advantage, but it's kind of where it's going to be the Vara diff. Depends on which way it goes. I think will determine the winner of this matchup. Recurve, obviously known as a Vara one trick. Not entirely a one trick, but it's his most known character, and he has diversified a bit in the past. And in this tournament, he also pulled out the
Popping
the
off on the
Tracer.
Tracer. Yeah, he was a bit unhappy that we didn't mention it in the chat, and I'm sure we'll manage to find one of your one clips that happened. Hey, we apparently you were one clipping all over the shop yesterday, Recurve. So we'll probably put the cam on you a few times and let's see if you can grab one of those today. But I think you're going to have a very scary DPS and Todos to go up against. I wonder who Tox wants to win this one. He's obviously good friends with everyone on Made Cafe Light. He goes to university with, well, everyone on this Galera lineup. I think I'm ready to go. Get a ready check from the production line. I believe Made Cafe and Galera are actually in lobby and ready to go. Maybe take a minute break or two just to get some water and really ready up for this match. So probably put 30 seconds a minute on the timer, production staff, TYTY. But don't go anywhere. We will be back at the blink of an eye, ladies and gentlemen.
We are back after our short break, more of a water break than anything, but we'll be coming into the semifinals of the day. Made Cafe Light versus Galera. One of these teams will punch their ticket to face Ignition in the finals and have a chance to take home $25.
Absolutely. The prize pool could be getting up. It might not be. Find out. I think I might be able to work something out myself. It's been a wonderful tournament so far, though. The meta really has developed quite fast. It's great to do this kind of stuff in the off-season. I've been so happy with the level of production. Casting has been so much fun so far. We've had some really good games in as well, and it's just something to keep us ticking over in between. You know, Overwatch League, I believe, comes back next week.
Can't wait for that.
That's going to be starting soon with hero bans, unfortunately, but hey, what can you do? You can't have everything in the world, I guess. But you know, in the downtime, we got you. Bad Patrimony League always here, I guess. We never leave. Still in the basement, but we've started. Here we go. 7:55 on the clock. First room hold of this Black Forest is going to be hotly contested, but it looks like Made Cafe Light. Oh no, they're going to have to concede it. So Galera have got this holding IW and Luki Boy on this Roadhog Zarya that we've seen all throughout this tournament, but Sheep and Todos back on that Echo Mercy.
Ooh, and people are going to be taken down just before the Immortality Field from Green Bean is going to be able to save his life. It's going to be Luki Boy now coming around in this corner, trying to get some damage in. Is able to take down Green Bean, but will trade his life for it. Not the best trade, but he will be rezzed up. So now it's 0-2 for Gorlira, but People is able to get the better of Sheep, and now the respawn coming in. We can see that these compositions are going for different looks. We're seeing a combination of grass that we saw yesterday. Recurve able to get a kill now onto Sheep, but it's going to be taken down by Todos before he can get to that mini. It's going to be traded out, though, by Ahigo, and now we're at a solid 4-3 position here, and both teams have a chance to take this room.
There we go, and they've got inside room, sort of the dust settles in first. That's a really quick grab from Arhi, MVP level performance from him. That's the grab pulse combo to just effectively one-shot IW. They're going to have the chance to res him up there, but Pipo is looking for blood and he's looking for more. He's looking for this Zarya of Luki Boy, and Luki goes down rather fast. That's a hook that comes in from Pipo once again, while Pipo are really farming on this Roadhog so far. That's a Pipo wave in the chat for him, and Roadhog's definitely been the core of these compositions all throughout this tournament. Such a high impact hero with these hooks. But now we've look at the kickback potential next fight. Is Valkyrie popped early for Sheep to try and keep his team healthy and Todos. We've seen him play Hod so often. Honestly, been on Hod in the copy version more than he's been on Echo, I think, this tournament, and he's got that duplicate ready to go whenever he feels like it. They really need it, I think, to push into this tight room.
Yeah, and I think right now we're seeing just a compositional difference here as the duplicate comes out. I mean, IW getting taken down, but now the double hog coming out, that's going to be able to take down 2, and now it's only a 1 kill advantage for Made Cafe Light, but that was almost all of their ultimates that were used. I think we're seeing a compositional difference here, at least in the neutral fight. As long as the Baptiste is alive, I think it's pumping out a lot more healing that can be done, especially if you're going to be pocketing like Sheep has been. And I don't know if this composition is the most sustainable, as Lucky Boy is going to be kind of left out to dry. IW obviously can kill themselves, but it's going to be a team kill coming in, and Galira is going to be losing a point. So now it's going to be a 6 kill lead for Made Cafe Light as they come up on more ultimates.
And they've got the Graviton Surge if they're going absolutely right. I think this Zarya Hard Comp really needs something like a Baptiste to be able to sustain him, as there's no shield. Sheep, though, is going to be getting Valkyrie off cooldown, however. The grab comes in, but no lamp means that IW, there we go, just going to get blown up by the whole Horde. Pipo arriving through them with this whole Horde. Finds 3 with the headshot on McCree, so that's a 3k for the Horde, and they're looking for that all-important final team kill reset. Not going to get it as Sheep is in the air with that Valkyrie. But this window, though, means it could potentially flip this fight even harder and flip it even quicker. Not really quite sure. This Mercy pick is absolutely the play. She's very competent on this Mercy however, and if anyone can make it work, I do believe it is him. They found the 1-for-1 trade, but Pipo, same place, different time, same result.
Yep.
And that's a really good window, though. But the high ground going over, and yet again, the team kill for Made Cafe Light. It's now 18-5 with 4 minutes 30 left.
Yeah, and Sheep now finally switching over. We are seeing the Reaper for, I believe, the first time in this tournament. It's going to be Lucky Boy dropping in that Graviton, that grab, going to be catching out. Pipo is going to be saved up by that Baptiste, and you can see the value of the Baptiste just so well. Being able to keep your teammates alive through so much more damage. But it's not going to be able to keep Recurve alive. He's going to be taken down now by Lucky Boy. Toto's falling low, is going to need to get healing from his Baptiste before he can re-engage and get some healing of his own. IW now looking for a hook on that side, trying to get something of value. He sees Recurve, or he sees Green Bean, and he's trying to look for that kill. It's going to be these hook combos, I think, that are going to be pairing well with this Reaper. It's going to be the Gravitic Flux coming out. Totos can leave whenever he feels like it, but it's going to be a Higo just shredding through the entirety of his team. That's 4 kills coming out, and that's going to be a team kill.
Yeah, it was a 4 in the grab for Ahi, I believe, and yet again, say his name in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, EPL Season 2 MVP for a reason. He's really showing up on this Zarya. Was known for his Diva extraordinaire, now occasional Zarya gamer, MVP Ahi, aka Shigo, get the copy pasta going, but yeah, well, Ahi's showing up on this Zarya. He's been building up that charge so quickly. Todos has gone over to the Reaper guy to try and shred through these tanks. It's my favourite character, double shotgun, special move, one of the best in the game. Sheep as well also made that crucial adjustment over to the Baptiste. Look how early the lamp is forced, and now with such a comfortable lead that Made Cafe have, they can honestly just chill. They don't need to do anything too silly. Wait for those hooks to land from Pipo. There we go. Recurve puts 2 in the brain of Leaky Boy to send him down 25-8. 2 minutes 52 left. It's looking like plain sailing for Made Cafe Light. They're going to be picking up this first map in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, Made Cafe Light, they're really asserting their dominance. And I mean, Totos has switched now over to the McCree, but it might be a little too late going for that full mirror. It's going to be now the 2 kills away. IW is going to be able to take down Pipo, but as Recurve finds the better of Totos, that's going to be the map going the way of Made Cafe Light. They're going to take the 1-0 lead, and now 1 map away from punching their ticket into the grand finals against Ignition. They are so close.
Yeah, and they really did abuse that inner room hold for its most effectiveness. I think that early sort of Echo Mercy swap cost Galira, so a bit late to swap compositioning. I think they sort of had it towards the end with that Baptiste and that Reaper from Todos. Todos not really known for the hit stand, so that could be potential. If we've seen the flexibility of Recurve come out, they went over to the McCree at the end and found some beautiful headshots through the brain of Lucky Boy on that Zarya to take him down, just unable to sort of kite the range in the off angle. There's really nowhere for that Zarya to go. If he went left, he got the Peacekeeper. If he went right, he got the fish hook from Pipo. And it was unfortunately just no siree. Made Cafe really choking them out, squeezing them, taking them to match point. So what do we think What do we think happens here now, Drayton? What map do we think Galera choose to go to? And if so, what comps do we think that they could use? What swaps do we think you could make to try and get them back in the series?
Well, I have a little bit of insider information. I saw that in the chat they said they were going to Paris during that play of the game. So we are going to be going to Paris, as production has confirmed. We're going to be going into that map very quickly. We're already in it, in fact. So Galera, they're probably going to be wanting to pull out the Pharah. I think that you can run the Mercy, you can run the Lucio, but it's looking like the full mirror actually now. I think they know what their mistakes were and they're ready to fix it now in this mirror. Galera are going to have to get quite a bit more done as they were kind of rolled over by Made Cafe Light. I mean, there was some early contesting there between the two teams, but once switches started coming, the momentum was already too far in Made Cafe Light's direction.
No, they don't manage to find recurve early as he was split from the rest of his team, because of spawn or because of rotation or whatever. The good part about this map is that it's not quite figured out as Black Forest looks like. There's no big inside room, but Todos finds that click onto recurve to send him down. This lamp is immediately forced and mirrored out, so people are going to be falling solo after that. However, gets immediately healed up though with that take a breather. IW though, he's the one that falls low, gets flashbanged, I believe, potentially even hooked as well. And now Made Cafe Light with this small bit of downtime, they can potentially look for a swing on. Pipo just says no you, gets hooked himself, and then immediately counters onto IW to take him down again quickly. That's 2 quick deaths for the hog. And here we go. Kill's been traded back and forth. Lightning fast hit action, ladies and gentlemen. Don't blink and you will miss it.
Yeah, and now we see Sheep had used that window, but Lucky Boy is now full charge. They have quite a bit of damage on that front line. Doesn't seem to matter though. Pipo has been getting the better of IW every single time. Recurve is able to reset the charge of Lucky Boy. That's a lot more valuable than just the kill. You're really just taking a large chunk of damage out of that Zarya's arsenal. Not going to be doing nearly as much on that front line, and with Ahigo now has that that grav, is going to be able to use that to their advantage. Pipo doesn't have any, there's not really anything to combo into it, just the raw damage that can be output by this composition.
Yeah, and Pandemonium on this. Baptiste is going to have so much sustain though against the grav that could come by. Sheep the same. This lamp and this window is just so much healing, so much sustain. There we go. Mirror grab's basically at the perfect time. That's the hook that comes in, going to pull, I believe, Pipo out. The Graviton Surge doesn't manage to find him. Gets pincered in the corner though by Galera. That's the W key button. It's going to be Zarya's 1-for-1 going at each other. You know, giant hammers here with this Zarya so charged up. Gets a right click through the window, and it looks like they're going to have to force back retreat out of the University of Portsmouth. They do not want to get team like 7-5 inside room hold once again, going over the way of the Made Cafe Light, but there's so many angles for University of Portsmouth to attack this, and with window, it could potentially be a very quick fight if they elect to go for it. Here we go.
Ooh, then Recurve is going to be the first to fall. The right click through the window, just so powerful, especially at the high charge that Lucky Boy and Ahigo have been at all day. Now it's going to be the hook being fished for by Pipo. Let's see if he's going to be able to find anybody. If he gets that hog, he's probably going to pop the whole hog, just get him out of the way. But Recurve again going to be resetting the ult charge of Lucky Boy. Now it's going to be the kill onto IW off of the back of that hook in, and now it's going to Made Cafe Light. They're cleaning up this fight. They've considerably increased their lead now to 4. It's 11-7 on the scoreboard, and halfway through this time bank about. And Galera, they have to come up with something soon. They have to get some value out of the ultimates they have coming online. As Made Cafe Light, they just have more in the bank right now.
Absolutely, and they're going to be getting close to it as well. This hog not the most valuable. Graviton Surge comes in for Lucky Boy. He's going to be immediately peeled, but he finds 2. That's both squishies down to that Zarya. The Death Beam once again, and he's got the 4K. That's a team kill to rub salt into the wounds, and Galera really getting the Cincinnati, Ohio treatment. Zoo right now is Made Cafe really do be that zookeeper with the shotgun as they're looking to send Harambe into the grave and out of the tournament.
Yeah, I was like, why are you referencing a city in Ohio? Nobody cares about Ohio, but they care about because Harambe died. May he rest in peace. IW gonna be caught out in that hook. Ahigo needs to die now, and to secure that, they're gonna pop the whole hog, but instead it's going to be Sheep that's going to be falling down. The kills are going in their direction though, but as long as he is alive, it's a winnable fight. As I say that, he's going to fall down, but Recurve also alive as well. Todos now cleaning up the kills, and they've considerably this lead that Made Cafe Light has, they only lost 1 on it. It's now a 7-kill lead as opposed to 8 that they had to start the fight. And now IW is going to be falling very low, and Recurve is going to be extending the lead back to that 8 where it rightfully belongs.
Yeah, he do be doing a little trolling, and they get him off the spawn. That's so unlucky. Oh my, this HUD play. I'm surprised IW hasn't uninstalled yet. Like, what is that spawn, Blizzard? Please come the fuck on. Like, what is that? Like, really, like, that's just such bad coding. Holy shit. Like, he was basically half a second spawned in the map, but not the app. He was already through the HUD people and into the team. That's a real pain champ in the map for that Roadhog. There we go. Managed to flip it though. Finds Pandemonium with that Baptiste. So gets a little bit of bait on the end of his tether himself. But one thing I've not mentioned, basically for the entirety of this series, is both of these McCrees, Recurve and Talos. It's so dangerous against these high charge tanks, these high damage tanks. Honestly, both these tanks can win a 1v1 against the McCree very, very easily. So you really have to tread the fine line here. Looks like, ooh, Pandemonium going to be cut out in a corner. Does he manage to get taken down? No. Are he going to be there with the first the bubble goes down? Lukey Boy does manage to find his tension, finds him, but no, loses his charge and his life for it. So 22-13, 2 minutes 30 left on that clock. Had to be committed Graviton Surge from both teams, however, but they're going to have this window to go from Pandemonium next fight to be able to hyper-accelerate, most importantly, towards that high noon from Recurve.
I think the biggest difference that we're seeing right now is just the level of execution. I mean, the punishes onto IW. He's been being punished all day, and when people get just as aggressive, the punish isn't there. He's getting the backup from his team that he needs, and that's enough to swing this fight around quite considerably. They're gonna get another kill, now just 3 away from sealing their ticket, and now that's 2 as Recurve finds the pick onto Sheep. It's 2 kills away. It's gonna have to be 17 for Galera, and again, IW is just being caught out. Immediately taken down almost. The immortality field is forced, but it's not enough to keep him alive for long. Now it's Toto's coming alive here. He's found 2 in this fight. Ahigo needs to die, but he's not going to. Instead, it's gonna be the final blow going his way. Lukey Boy gonna be the final to die, and Made Cafe Light was a dominant 2-0 performance over Galera.
Yeah, there we go. They really did just push them back and send them all the way back up through the through and outside of the bracket. That's going to be the highway to heaven, I believe, for Galera, as they're going to join Harambe in the place beneath the sky in the zoo pen, 3,000 miles above. But you're absolutely right. It was just the punishes that came on to IW in particular. That poor Hog just could not play the game, ladies and gentlemen. But nice push down. I'm proud, and I'm sure Tox is as well, of the University of Portsmouth boys. It's a decently late night here, pain issues, etc. They put up a very, very valiant effort, and put in a very valuable performance. But it definitely is the 2 best teams in this tournament going head-to-head in the final. We've got Made Cafe Light versus Ignition coming up soon. We're going to be taking a quick break for that. I cannot wait, and probably put a minute 30 on the clock to give both teams a short chance to rest. So don't go anywhere. This is still going to be first 2 maps, I believe, for the grand finals, but this is going to be action-packed. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Here in the afterglow, I believe there's a lesson to be learned. Let's pay it forward. If you're playing with fire, you might get burned. Let the flames go higher. Just make me believe in love when you're gone. Forever after. Just make me believe that we find someone. Here in the afterglow. Open your heart, open your mind tonight. Not even a storm can tame this heart on fire. Just make me believe in love when you're gone. Forever after. Just make me believe that we find someone. Here in the afterglow. Just make me believe in love when you're gone. Forever after. Just make me believe that we find someone. Here in the afterglow.
You survived. That's cute.
Bro, what the fuck is that? It's behind the thing.
Good, I know. Good.
What the fuck is that hog?
Welcome back, everybody. We are here for our finals. We have Ignition versus Maid Cafe Light, and one of these teams will be walking home with a solid $25 extra in their pocket. I'm
Very
joined by
well.
Jace. So we will be getting into this matchup shortly. Each of these teams has had a dominant run through the bracket.
They really have. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us at this point, not quite sure how, but nice to see. Welcome everyone in the chat. What up, my bitches, bros, and non-binary hoes? We love you all. The Resurge 4v4 tournament for the crown for $50 actually, Drayton.
Ooh.
So even more stake. Are they paying us casters? No. However, do we care? Absolutely not. We're doing it for the content, and there's going to be no more content than this Maid Cafe Light Ignition game. So many matchups: SBT versus Peepo. But let's have a look at the rosters for the final time. Please and thank production, as we're going to get in and really start these teams more into what we know. We're going to get Maury, Hayden, D-Board, and SBT versus Ahishi, Pandemonium, Recurve, and Peepo with Distortion ready to come in if they need to go for a double support composition, perhaps. And it really is just, I think, going to be a clash of these types. Ahi and Peepo have been farming on this Hogs Aria comp. It's so high impact. Both of those have been playing stunning to see how they go up against these types for the side of Ignition. And just so many little 1v1s across this entire matchup board. I assume we won't see too much of anything other than this Hogs Aria, Baptiste, and McCree comp. Recurve may play a little bit of Tracer. They might swap to a Farah, but for starters, looks like we'll get map pick again. Any second now, it should be revealed. I believe Ignition do, in fact, actually get the pick. And they probably will. It will be Black Forest to start. I'm like 90% sure. And that forward hold, that inside hold, whichever team spawns in that room is going to have a massive advantage to start it. That really has been the pivotal point for teams to play around that map. We've seen the last 3 games already today, ladies and gents, that just being able to sit in that room with that Huggins area, so much sustain, with the lamp, with the take a breather, with both bubbles as well, just means that you can generate ultimates in the meantime, generate energy. You're going to just sit there and you have so much spatial control, and eventually the enemy team do have to walk into you. So no map has been chosen quite yet. Do expect to see Black Forest come down, though. However, what do you think, Drayton?
I think both teams have had a very good run on Black Forest. I mean, we saw Maid Cafe Light really bring it to Grolira on that map. They had a pretty dominant performance there, but they've had dominant performances on every map, really. So I don't think it matters too much to these teams what map we go to. I think we've seen Chateau Guillard be one of Ignition's better maps, especially since if they want to pull out that Sigma, I know that they did that on their in their last matchup in the quarter or in the semifinals. But Made Cafe Light, they're really shown that they've been the best team so far in this tournament. They've been really blowing everybody out of the water. I mean, even opponents like Galira that we thought could have been putting up a pretty decent fight. I mean, they've 2-0'd pretty much everybody, I believe. So they've had an undefeated run through the tournament so far, and that hasn't been the same for Ignition, as I believe they did drop a map. We saw, I mean, Black Forest against Redemption Burger was just an absolute massacre. I mean, it was Made Cafe Light all the way, as we saw yesterday. But it's going to, again, be a first to 2, so there's so much that can be really done here. I mean, this is just you can make an Ahigo, an Ahi just frag reel based off of this tournament alone.
Yeah, to be honest, it was so charged. I remember this play in particular just chewing through. It was so much energy, just absolutely being able to run into them, basically deal whatever he plays. He doesn't even need to min-max to high efficiency when he's at that energy. He can just left click as he pleases and then right click whenever he wants, but it really was all Made Cafe Light. They've been looking dominant. All of their victories so far. Will it continue? Will the cafe stay open for business, or will it be shut down? Will it be burnt down, just like an orphanage, by the flames of Ignition? Let's see. It's going to be really interesting to see both these teams match up.
Kind of a dark analogy, but I guess that works. I don't think Ignition want to be associated with burning down orphanages. So if they would like to disavow that, I think that they would.
Yeah, don't burn down orphanages, guys.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I
It's
think
not
that.
cool. It's also arson. I think it's illegal.
Yeah, I think a lot of parts are illegal, also unethical and immoral. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a lawyer or anything, so I'm not gonna say that burning down orphanages is illegal, but I'm pretty sure if I had to give some advice.
Okay, so we're going to get a stall champ from Made Cafe. They will be revealed on stream, but hopefully it should all be good any second now. I'm sure they won't be too long. But can I get if there are remotes enabled in the chat, can I get a pause champ from Made Cafe, or can I get a forward raised back of the hand emoji? Any stallers in the chat for Made Cafe Light there.
Yeah, but I mean, they did just finish a match, so it makes sense that they want to
True.
get a
Need
little
bit
bit of a
break.
break. Maybe go to the bathroom, maybe drink some water, maybe eat. We have not had that luxury here. Solomon has kept us locked up in our prison cells for quite a while. He hasn't even provided me with sheets, which is unfortunate.
True, they
But
stole your bed sheets. They
yeah,
really
and
did.
yeah, it's unfortunate. Really, it's just absolute. I'm just being bullied by Solomon constantly. I mean, if he wants to come into this Discord and defend himself so that we can stall a little bit longer while it's being stalled. Nope. All right, it's just gonna be us sitting here waiting.
Do we have predictions enabled?
there is
so
Solomon.
we could do some MVP at the end of this series. We could crown an official 4v4 MVP. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I've not taken your sheets. They're currently stored for someone in traffic. Oh wow, what a cheese! So Rico says, "Listen, I'm gonna keep it 100 emoji with you. We are stalling for Panda. But this is the finals. They want to sub somebody out in terms of getting Panda in because he's in traffic, but maybe we'll just have to suck it up."
Was that distortion then on Green Bean this entire time?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was calling him Pandemonium.
Unlucky.
Matt, just go
I
on your
was
damn
gonna let
accounts,
you make that
guys.
mistake. I was
My
not gonna
God.
correct you.
No, I didn't realize because Peepo was account sharing for weird because Peepo was on that Green Bean account yesterday. I had no idea that was distortion though. But yeah, distortion did a good job on that Baptiste then. I'm sure they can play
Which
AMAP
makes more sense.
with distortion in for sure. Like
They want their Starlight, they want Pandemonium in for the finals, which I understand, but
yeah.
be nice if they told us. He's pulling up to his house, apparently.
Oh wow.
Well, then you got to start up the computer. You gotta get Overwatch launched. You gotta get into the game. I mean, you gotta warm up. You gotta get your G Fuel. Not sponsored. You have to turn on your ExpressVPN, which
Not
is sponsored.
It
I
is.
think.
Yes.
ExpressVPN
Yeah.
/ Pachamari League /
Yeah,
BPL.
somebody
BPL.
start spamming that in chat.
Someone spam
I know we
that.
have a copy pasta for that.
Yes. Yeah, they're fine with it. Both teams are okay. We're just waiting for this final.
We're not
player to
leaking
arrive.
match chat. We're just exposing you. There's a
No,
difference.
I am
Recurve.
straight up reading match chat. It's your
Oh.
own fault. You don't award us. So
Yeah, deserved.
Listen, you're making me stall, and if I have to stall, I'm gonna call you out. Okay? It's just I have to do something to stall, and we're not doing another room tour.
exactly, and you know we have to have certain content that we can use during a stall, and sometimes you are the content. So
Yeah,
There
they're
has to
always
be a
the-
villain here, and that
they're
villain
always
is
the
always
content.
Recurve.
I think the real villain is traffic and car congestion in major US cities, ladies and gentlemen.
True.
Please, Lord
Traffic
of God.
prevented me from working with a vast.
True.
I straight up profit off of Rico. It's great, and he gets nothing apart from maybe a few Twitch followers. So
You profit off everyone, Solomon. It's Freelo, actually, to bully a vast on stream for a living.
true.
Or
We
a vast.
we can take a look at the bracket. This is how the teams got here. Made Cafe Light. I can check if they've actually lost a map yet. I don't think they have.
Yeah, I don't think Main Cafe Light have, actually.
That makes sense to me. Let me just check on the website. But unfortunately, Galera makes it to the semifinals, and no further. Cuddlefish Bandits went pretty far. They made it to the semifinals, being a
Like,
lower bracket team. So
They went so deep. They did really well.
yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't cast my friend, which is all that I really do this job for. So I'm gonna dip now that I don't have a chance to do that.
Solomon on the play-by-play.
Yeah, get Solomon in here.
God.
Make Solomon earn all that money he's making off of Twitch subs.
True.
I am
All you
holding-
do is produce. Nah, get in the booth.
Chat any primers? Twitch.tv/JSP_, or to this one right here. Maybe
Or
if you
just
have primers
Venmo
at
me.
Prime.
Just
Yeah.
Venmo me.
PayPal me, I don't mind as well. That works.
Your bad
Link-
drops
link-
maps. Nice.
Link to the OnlyFans will be in the chat any second now.
Yes.
That's also there.
Very good.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get the Twitter thing where you can send me money.
Oh, the tip jars. Yes.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
good.
So hopefully I'll be getting that tip jar set up soon.
He's in Discord. He's getting on Overwatch. We're
There we
almost there.
That's really. It's been a fantastic tournament to be a part of. I've had so much fun casting again. BPL, we do be back in.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a couple of months. I think my last cast was on. I could check on the BPL YouTube, but I think the VOD was uploaded like a week or two later. So I think my last cast was in March, actually. I think I did. Not obviously, I've done OD in the meantime, but like it was like March or yeah, it was March because I did the finals of Bad Pachimari League in my university. So like the second week of that. So yeah, it's probably been about 2 months we've had any BPL related content. Obviously, Recurve and Maid Cafe went into Open Division.
But
Yeah,
they left.
I think the last time I casted was when I got stood up by a vast in his traffic.
Nice.
So that was fun.
I'm desperately trying to find you on the new website, but actually, we're in.
Oh, we're in.
We're in.
Easy
We're done
clap.
following. Recurve is no longer the villain anymore.
Let's go.
I think Recurve's always the villain. I think he wants to be the anime villain. You know what? I love that arc for him. You know, and we all hate Farah players here, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe he'll eventually get his Zuko arc.
Exactly. Has not been a Farah villain so far. He's very much been a cowboy gunslinging hero. Pandemonium finds that opening pick on the Fenikusa. So already, that's first blood going to Maid Cafe Light. They've got the outfits ready. The cat ears and all, and they're out in full force. He once again on full energy. We expect nothing less from the BPL Season 2 MVP, but first blood. As I said, going over to Maid Cafe Light. However, the respawn's mean that Fenikusa is basically just going to shrug it off. Going to look death in the eye and say, nah, just going to kind of respawn in this room, but Recurve finds that pick onto SBT, and I think Maid Cafe Light really just looking for the go button to walk in and take this room straight.
Yeah, I mean, it's been off these folks of Green Bean. I mean, Distortion has been doing so well on this hog. And gonna be looking for some more hooks, going underneath. That's really how you break this. You can't really go through down main until you've built up some ultimates. But now they have those ultimates built up, and now it's just gonna be a Higo with that laser shredding through SBT. Now it's gonna be the counter window in response to Distortion is gonna be quite low, but is gonna be healed up by the rest of his team. Now just providing ult charge to Pandemonium after the window has gone down. The Graviton Surge comes out, and that's gonna be Green Bean finding 2 as well. Make that 3. He's going absolutely ham right now. No bacon. And now it's going to be a recurve, finishing off that team kill. Not going to get that tick or that point taken away, however, but it is going to be a 7-1 lead for Made Cafe Light coming out of the gates fast.
Yeah, and it's off the back of Green Bean 17-8 Distortion on this hog, and he's gone for the full American style diner. He's flipped everyone on their sides and put them with a nice plate of waffles, and he turned everyone into a bit of bacon and eggs there. Absolutely fried them with that Roadhog hook, as the pig do be kind of farming though. So I've got that shot skin on as well in success, you know, when you get the hog skin on, you put the target on your back, but Distortion going for that manages to send SBT over the side into that water, so, and he gets another one, gets both times as well. Oh my, Distortion, he's showing up. We've not seen too much of him from this tournament, but he's really, in this final game, putting a stamp down, and I said this pig is absolutely going ham.
Yeah, we saw him a lot on that Baptiste. You're not going to see him as much in the kill feed. This time it's going to be the kill feed lighting up all red for Ignition, as they're able to get 4 kills there. Distortion able to trade 1 out, so preserving the lead just a little bit, turning it from a 9 to 8 lead to a 10 to 8 lead off the back of that. But Ignition have been coming out of the gates they came out a bit slow, but now they're coming back into it as well. They've brought this to within 2 points, and now they're just looking for those kills. Ahigo, he's going to take down Debug now. Really big carry so far that they've had for Ignition. It's been finding a lot of value so far, and taking him out of the fight first has been crucial. And now it's going to be SBT falling to the laser of Ahigo, and now they're going to a Reinhardt.
Oh, there we go. Hayden solo kills Recurve, and that's SBT going over to a Reinhardt there. And this provides some shielding, isn't too planting the hog. Yeah, there we go. It makes the team lose a point. IGN, absolutely right. Thank you, production, for letting us know. But Ignition were ahead, and they got team wiped for Felden. Behind now, 4 ahead for Made Cafe. They're pulling away. It's 1 back answered for Debug on this McGree. He's been popping off this entire tournament. He's got this high ground now. He's been so venomous with that Peacekeeper. And this is Distortion on this hog falling solo. Going to receive the bubble and drastically just wait for his take a breather to keep him nice and healthy. And there we go. But this Reinhardt goes swinging. Oh, he manages to find him solo. I don't think the Reinhardt is the pick here, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at him drastically trying to swing around, and while his whole team are down behind him.
That was the first bit of damage that he did onto Green Bean. I don't know if he had ended up getting a full pin, but I'm really not seeing the value of this Reinhardt. Are you trying to enable Debug? It's not really working that well. Debug has been getting himself killed quite a bit, but now they're able to find 2 off the back of it. Debug is able to get the best of it with the help from Fennec. So now it's going to be the driver's seat being pushed out by Ignition. They're going to be coming out with this quite a few kills here, closing it to within 4. The gap has been closing slowly but surely. Debug now looking for that high noon, seeing if we can find anybody out on their own away from the cover of their Zarya bubbles.
Yeah, Ignition put on the afterburners, and they've kind of switched into cruise control here with that Lucio swap. It's been revitalizing. It's been pivotal in the success of this WT comp. Ahi, though, stops the snowball there, so no Tokyo Drift just yet for Ignition. But once again, they do have control of this inside room. They played this so well in their first map, in their first victory of the day, and they're doing so here. This Reinhardt shield means they're going to cover even more angles, even healthier. There's a big barrier, 1600 of it, and they can just sort of use that shield as a meat shield for Fennec and Debug to go ham, and that's absolutely what they're doing. So many picked up by Debug. They get the team kill to reset it to 20-21. So now it is a 1 kill apart. This is really, really close, Drayton.
Yeah, scoreline is current year, 2021, as you said. And now it's going to be the ultimates coming online for Ignition. They have almost everything. The grab coming out, the Beast's going to have to keep them alive through that as they have to weather the storm that is Resurge. Yep, the big slam coming down is able to find 2 off the back of it. Now they've taken their first lead of this round. It's going to be 24-21 as they get that team kill, sending Made Cafe Light down a kill. And this Reinhardt has really started to prove its value. It's just, you're able to enable your DPS and your Zarya so much better. and especially with that that Lucio, just be able to speed onto your opponents. The opponents that really want to be waiting for you to make a mistake. You're really looking for that early hook, seeing if you can catch somebody out. But especially with that shield, it's so hard to get done. We'll see if the Make Cafe Light want to adapt to that as well and potentially switch over to the Reinhardt of their own. But with Green Bean almost at that whole hog and the boop potential being there, I don't think that's going to happen quite yet.
No, they're just going to have to chill with these resources. I really like this patience that's coming out from Ignition. If you're just joining us for this final match, ladies and gentlemen, your eyes do not deceive you. If you get team wiped, that bell will ring and you will lose a point. It's added stipulation to prevent this kind of passive camping that you can get and really encourages you to go all in. To add insult into injury, but Distortion here on this hog, this whole hog has been so important. Finds 2 pieces, again, gets FBT and Hayden. It's going to be Fennec all by himself against the world. Guys, straight through the eyes of the bullet, recurve, puts it through, and there we go. Most importantly, resets that Zarya energy. But interesting, I think the team kill mechanic really is important, and it really helps sort of neuter aggression and increase aggression as well. Both teams playing at a lightning fast tempo. Being able to snowball the game is so important, and one of the ways you can snowball it is with that team kill mechanic. Distortion goes for the hook, wasn't able to find it, but look at Ignition. They're all stacked together behind the Toronto shield there, rushing, looking to try and rotate into this side. Is Distortion off on the flank, and they could potentially be finding recurve really quickly here if they could WT this correctly.
Yeah, Reinhardt really forces Distortion to play more of an off tank. He has to take those off angles. He can't be on the front line fishing for hooks because there's a shield right in front of them. He's going to recurve, popping that ultimate, seeing if he can catch somebody coming out, but the discipline from Ignition, they're not going to let that happen. They're coming up on 4 ultimates here, and with 45 seconds left, we are exactly tied with 25-25. Each of these teams are going to have to find something that's going to be a big hook from Green Bean. He's finally found his fish, but the Bean immediately in response, and Debug with the high noon is going to be able to take him down. Debug finding recurve as well. He's found 3. He might be able to find 4. He does, and that's going to be 29-26 now as we enter the last 20 seconds. Just looking for 1 kill, but that window is going to force everybody from Ignition back. Going to need to get that healing.
They can just run. They can just run away. It's absolutely, the ball is in the court of Ignition right now. Look at this.
They're just running.
This is actually really, really clever. They're just going to sit behind this Reinhardt shield. 5 seconds left. They only need a kill. Whereas Make Cafe Light need 3. This clock runs dry.
They're not going to find any.
That slam could have come down. They would have won that fight, I think, anyway. But Ignition playing the clock almost perfectly, just opting to back out. Sometimes inaction is action, ladies and gentlemen. Ignition not looking to throw away their lead there. Realised with 5 seconds left, they had it and opted to not push. Really clever play as they stored themselves a first map blood, and honestly, some very, very impressive adjustments at play.
Yeah, and it's really Debug here, just clutching it out.
In on the tree, holy shit.
Yeah, and it looks like we're gonna be going to Kanazaka, so we could be seeing recurve going over to the far. It would be an entire compositional switch, but I think against this Reinhardt, there's not really much that can be done to prevent the Reinhardt from just doing whatever he wants. But if you switch that Pharah, you're eliminating the effectiveness of that Reinhardt, and you suddenly can't hit 2 of your opponents. If you want to get that Wrecking Ball and the Lucio in there as well, there's just nobody that can really be within the range of Reinhardt for long enough for him to get a lot of value. It's going to be down to him sniping those fire strikes, and I think that's the play that Make Cafe Light want to go into. They need to pull this map back. This is going to be a 1st to 3, so we're not at match point quite yet, but Ignition, they do have the advantage here, and if they take this Kanazaka map, which is going to be Make Cafe Light's pick, that's going to swing the momentum so much in their favor. They really need to come out on top in this next map.
I'm reading the chat here. People saying I'm on a security camera behind the Racer Shield. Yeah, my camera is a bit stuffed. I think the light settings on it have gone. The reflection really is really powerful. As now we're getting into Kanazaka here, and it's potentially, so it is a 1st to 3, so we're going to have a bit longer, so not quite map point here yet for Ignition, so this one's going to go the distance, but this gives plenty time for Make Cafe to really figure out this sort of mini rush conflict coming out from their opposite team. D-Blood finds the first kill onto Distortion. There we go, Pandemonium on this. Planty's also going to fall, but Recurve answers back onto that troublesome McCree. Been doing so much damage on that Gunslinger. Green Bean finds back immediately onto that Lucio, so that's no rush there. Pandemonium, he's gone over to the Lucio himself, and now it's 4 kills apiece. There we go, 5-3 early, so lots of blood taken here as it's been traded back and forth, left, right. Explosive start to this map 2, Traitor.
Yep, we have 8 points already on the board in the first minute. It's made Cafe Light. They've switched up off of the Baptiste onto the Lucio. Just trying to get those disengages on the Reinhardt, and you can really just keep the Reinhardt at an arm's length. You just don't want to be in range of that hammer. Although Ahigo, he's going to fall very low, but his recurve at the backline, he's going to be causing a lot of disruption and damage. It's going to be enough to take debug out of the fight, and that's going to be the go button. There's no longer a stun as on the other side for Ignition. It's going to be Fennec popping in that ultimate. It's going to be enough.
Really early.
Yeah, and
Such
it's going to
an
be
early
6-4 right now.
Potentially, it's a lot of min matching here from Ignition. Fennec getting gas energy with this Zarya, with this Reinhardt, means that Fennec is doing the most damage basically in the team comp, and that allows him to hypercharge Grav. But slowly but surely, Made Cafe Light have flipped it out now to a 9-6 lead. Recurve on this offhander has been playing it so well, he knows that if he oversteps for a second, debug is going to meet him with a flashbang and a headshot straight between the eyes, as this McCree has not been messing around. High Noon being held here. I like to drop it down just a second. They run down Distortion on that Roadhog. He overextends.
That's
it's going to
fire
have to be an S. He does manage to hit Pandemonium with that Fire Strike, but Ignition now looks like they really are in cruise control. They're playing so well around this Reinhardt, around this AoE healing. It's a very low sustained comp for Ignition, only this Lucio, but they have beat to go, so they can be very, very chunky if they opt to W key aggressively into this next fight. But for now, they're just going to chill in this room and take a breather.
Yeah, and if you're Made Cafe Light, I don't know why you're sticking with the Roadhog here. I think you've switched off of the Baptiste, which is so crucial when you're running the no shield composition. But now that you have the Lucio, I think the Reinhardt just makes so much more value off of that. That's gonna be the pulse bomb into the grab, but immediately it's gonna be answered by that bubble and the beat as well. So now it's going to be the ultimate advantage for Made Cafe Light, but they're slowly losing this kill advantage that they've had. Green being going to be falling very low. He needs to get healed up. He's going to find it, but Recurve able to find debug in the back line, and that's going to be extending this lead quite a bit and really like lengthening out this fight.
And there we go. Lung fights absolutely benefit this Made Cafe Light home. Distortion had enough. He's going in. How aggressive is this? Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if he can find two, as he's done so many times before with this ultimate, and doesn't manage to find anyone. Managed to get everyone solo. But on the flip side, Ignition, they're training back members of his team back and forth. He's standing there on the beaches of Versailles, almost not able to get anyone, and they've been honestly stormed here, bombarded, and it looks like D-Day not quite yet here for Ignition, as they've managed to level it up 12-12, but momentum swinging back and forth, almost rocking like a boat at sea during a rapid tempest. And right now, I think the pace, the control of the game, the tempo is on the way of Made Cafe Light.
Yeah, it's going to be the grab coming out from Fennec. I think it's just a solo grab onto He's going to be taken down. That's going to give them the team, that's going to give them the kill advantage. Now, SPT is still falling low, so that could be a go button, but it's going to be slowly charged up, and it's not going to be followed up on. That was nearly a hook onto Fennec by Green Bean and Gate Distortion, but now it's going to be getting rushed down, and again, you're not seeing as much value from the Hog. As I say that though, he's able to find a pick onto Debug, and Recurve is able to find one in the back. Debug is going to be switching over to this Reaper now. I believe he was on the McCree to really just deal with the Tracer of Recurve in the backline, but now that it's going to be Green Bean now going over to the Reinhardt. Finally had enough of this main tank. Now it's going to be Recurve trying to get some poke damage in and maybe get SPT out of the fight. He was very low there.
People going over to the Reaper to increase the power of this WT comp, but Distortion's Reinhardt means that both. It's going to be a bit of a shield war, a bit of swings, and lots of cleaving available. Going to be so much damage, but we're halfway over the mark with 3 minutes left. Ignition's going to be finding themselves only 13 more kills. Can Recurve finds the stick, finds two. Recurve coming up when he needs, pushes the gap and closes it 2-2, but unfortunately Hayden answers back immediately onto Pandemonium. That opposite number, Lucio, is sent back to spawn, and I think with this high down control now here, he's going to be nearing a Graviton Surge, so this really could be the way into this for Made Cafe Light. There we go. He goes with the grab super early. Nothing that they can do. Distortion swings in, Fire Strike, so he's going to be connecting himself close to Graviton Surge, but he falls solo, no shield. It's taken through with that Fire Strike for SPT.
Yeah, but Recurve in the backline, he's causing a lot of trouble. He was able to get 4 about in that fight. The pulse bomb to obviously even it out, but then he was able to get so many kills in the backline. And now Made Cafe Light, they've taken the lead now, 10 kills away from securing the first map win. They're going to be getting aggressive in this. They're going to be using that Graviton Surge to help aid that aggression, and it's going to be that aggression from Ignition, actually. My apologies. Fighting 3 off the back of it. So now they've flipped that 1-point deficit into a 2-point lead for them. Recurve looking for something, trying to build up that pulse bomb, seeing if he can stick it to the tanks yet again. He has it again. He's sticking onto the back, and he turns this wheel right into Hayden. My goodness. SBT just blows up his very own Lucio, and he's going to be able to give them back the lead. What a play by Recurve.
Oh my, Recurve coming up clutch yet again, and they said to watch his tracer in the chat, sort of cursed it there as he falls to that boot, but I thought Amenya Sus were out this tournament. However, SBT impostering there on that Reinhardt turns the shield to fall him and Hayden to that one pulse bomb, such a low value, high sort of low cost ultimate, but Recurve getting so much value out of its big slam comes down from Distortion. Can they find the Reinhardt? No, he's got to pin away, got fall very low. This Graviton Surge comes in, gonna lock everyone up from Ahi. Now it's Ahi and Recurve against the world. And they go through Ahi. Recurve got another pulse bomb. Gonna miss the stick this time. That's a rare sight to see so far in this game, ladies and gentlemen. But looks like as the dust settles, with 1 minute left, it's 2 kills for Ignition. They get this and they go up 2-0, and they're gonna be on match point. There we go, 29 to 24. And they're looking for blood Ignition. Look how aggressive they're going on to this right now. They want to end this right here, right now.
Yeah, Green Bean doesn't really have anything to heal him with. He's charged away from his supports, but that leaves the entire backline left alone. But it's going to be Green Bean, Distortion falling down. At Ignition, they've taken a 2-0 lead. They are coming for blood against May Cafe.
My god, they're really sticking it to them. Holy shit, they're going so hard. And Pandemonium complaining about 6 slots as potentially he was in the flex hole there as he wanted to swap off Distortion, but Bud with the lobby, a bit Monkey W. They could have always asked for a pause and a swap there. That would have been fine, but it is 2-0 to Ignition. Never mind the scores in there. You know, excuses nonetheless. Ignition 2-0 up, and they've got their hands around the throat of Maid Cafe Live, looking to close that shop permanently. And I don't really know any sort of Maid Cafe pun.
Yeah, there's not much to be made. I mean, Ignition though, they are lighting this up. I mean, they've come out of the gate strong. That was a much closer map, and Maid Cafe Light were definitely in a position where they could have won. Had a couple things gone their way. Maybe that roll lock did mess them up a little bit. They probably wanted
Potentially, to be fair.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a dominant performance so far from Ignition. Although they did they did bleed in that last map. I mean,
Absolutely.
at any point, Maid Cafe could have it pulled away. Just one team fight going a different way would have been really the difference there between Ignition winning and Maid Cafe Light winning. So
Yeah,
this has been a very close series, and the scoreboard just doesn't quite reflect it right now.
No, it's 2-0, and unfortunately to the Vic to go all the spoils as it was 29 to 24, 30 24, 30 25. It was just a team fight. One Graviton Surge with no beating answer response. And it kind of just wiped them all away, and Ignition were able to steamroll themselves to a 2-0 lead and now take it to match point. Maid Cafe are going to have good kickback here, though. They've got a map choice, and it's not quite over yet. Normally it would be, but the finals are 1st to 3. So I think if Ignition here, if they do manage to win these 3 maps, you'd think it's really well and truly deserved. But if not, Maid Cafe have to be perfect from here on out if you want to be able to pick up that victory and $50, about 10 to each person there. So much on the line here. But Ignition doing so well. I'm really impressed by their management and their engaged timings. They are not afraid with a Lucio Reinhardt comp. You really do have to be high tempo and you have to take a lot of risks. And it almost didn't work for them. Recurve was almost essentially felling the Great Wall of China by himself with those pulse bombs. Found 2 and then 2 again, just getting so many picks. Basically half team wiping them, half of 4 is 2, ladies and gentlemen. I believe I passed that maths class. So, I've been in school long enough to realise that, but being able to get that much value out of a pulse bomb is really scary. As this series is going to lengthen up, we're going to get map pick any second now. Hopefully Maid Cafe can get their slot sorted so that he stays on the tank to find the flex, because, if it is an issue, I'm not quite sure how much it cost them, but for this final map, I want it to be all out. I want it to be as even, as fair as possible, and both teams get a good swinging, fighting chances. Here we go. Chateau Gaillard potentially could be match point for Ignition.
And Peepo has been subbed in as well. Ahi can be on the bench currently in this match point. They do want to go with this Wrecking Ball composition, though. Green Bean Distortion is going to be on this Soldier 76, something we haven't seen too much of in this tournament. It's going to be Recurve on this Tracer again, and the Lucio going to be providing the bulk of the healing, although Green Bean could provide some of his own. And it's going to be a near mirror match, although it's Actually, no, it's not anywhere near a mirror match. It's about half and half. But Fennec is going to be on the. It's been sticking to that Zarya all day. Is going to be going over to the Echo now. Yeah, and Hayden gonna be on the pocket for that Echo now, and it's gonna be the first 2 kills going the way of Debug. He's proving that he's not just that McCree player; he can also pull it out on the Tracer.
There we go, and looks like we go Distortion having to swap over to that McCree in response. As Soldier is a pick that it's played by some flex supports as it's been in the past, so particularly the older flex supports in the game will have Soldier in their back pocket from when that was a flex support. At one point, used to play Soldier Zen as your backline, ladies and gentlemen, before they released the horror that we call Brigitte. As now it's going to be a Tracer 1v1, so keep your eyes on this matchup throughout. Bitches, Bros, and non-binary heroes. Debug and Rico are going to be going tooth and nail into each other, fighting for scraps on this time-traveling British woman. As Rico gets the first and he gets the second as well. Finds both SVT and Fennec. So definitely advantage Maid Cafe right now. They are down in a kill there, but they've got the hold and they've got a really early pulse bomb. Let's see if Rico can manage to pull something out off the back of his hat. Potentially Rabbit could even be a kill. There we go, gets the 180 blink onto Depot, gets the stick as well. Rico going ham on this Tracer is finally fell by SVT with those primary fire shotguns from that hammer.
Yeah, now the duplicate pulse bomb is not going to find anybody, just going to get arrow there. And now Fennec, they've secured themselves a 3-kill lead right now, but that could go away in just a single team fight. Green Bean now going to be staring down this wrecking ball, has to fend the hammer, is going to get lucky that they all hit. He could have gone down there very easily, was only at 24 HP, still now at 30 though. Could be now the evening out recurve. Like I said, they could be able to put this right in a fight, and they have. Now it's going to be the ultimate advantage significantly for Make Cafe Light. Depot and Pandemonium really have those big ultimates online. Green Bean can use that ultimate as a reload or a zoning, but it's going to be early kill onto Pandemonium, and now that there's no healing, Green Bean will fall shortly after.
There we go, so it's 2 quick picks of munition to pull ahead by 2, but Rico, they're definitely relying on him. He's been the impact player so far for Maid Cafe Light. I think nice swap over onto the Hod's going to be doing very well, particularly against the ball in the Echo. Not so much about holding that Tracer of D-Bud, but give D-Bud space, and we see what can happen from him. He's been doing so much damage on basically any hero that he's been on. Going to be high performing towards the pulse bomb as both these Hammonds are going to jostle for the high ground. SBT though gets stunned, beat forced from Pandemonium as he pushes the high ground, looking straight for this Mercer to send the Swiss Doctor back to spawn. Can he get it? Doesn't quite. Going to be using, there we go, just should fall into the arms momentarily though. There we go, picked up by Peeper, but Green Bean off the side. Peeper finds another one though, gets the Echo, so it's 2 down to the Hamster. And here we go, the push keeps on going for D-Bud, finds the trade back onto, but even traded further, Peepo and Green Bean as they find the Mercy and this Tracer as well. So many kills being flurried back and forth here. It really is just a splash of blood all across Sheffield Yard. Going to need a big, deep cleaning, disinfecting after this slaughterhouse that's been going on here from both teams, and the aggression carries on as we snowball this. 4 minutes 28 left on the clock, 11-10 on the scoreboard.
Yep, this slaughterhouse is filled with pig blood, with hamster blood, and even more pig blood as we go into this next one. The British lesbian going to be going for that pulse bomb, not able to find anybody, is going to get a whole hug right to the face, not to the head, but to the face. And now it's going to be Debug going in with the ultimate of their own, not going to find anybody. We are now tied here, but that's going to be quickly taken away by Debug as he finds the kill into Green Bean, and Pandemonium is also going to fall as well. The main support's now down for both teams for those quick respawns. It's not going to be Lucio or Hayden switching off of that Mercy, as they don't really think that they need that pocket anymore.
No, time-traveling British lesbian did in fact go Burr, and she's been going Burr this entire series. Been all over the kill feed, collecting so many names. Peepo finds that melee onto Fennec, so that's that focusing beam down. They can chill. There we go. Fennec gonna elect to go back over to the Zarya. I like it. SBT could potentially go over to the hog pick here. Any second, not quite sure he's going to stay on the ball. Goes over to the right hole as Hayden sends Peepo into the icy cold waters of Chateau Diard. So there's been no team kills just yet. 3 minutes 24 left. Debug almost dies to their own pulse bomb, but Peepo finds another pick onto Fennec. That's going to reset his energy. Probably didn't have that much. Anyway, Pandemonium is snuck onto the Brigitte and built up a full rally. Did not realise that, ladies and gentlemen. Keeping Rico's armor means he's going to be very, very healthy in this 1v1. As Lucky's pushing for Debug on that Tracer, but for now it's just going to be a little bit of a respite period with both teams really try and regroup.
Yeah, Make Cafe Light, they're starting to pull away a bit. They now have that 2-kill lead. SBT is going to be pushed in the corner and going to be blown up by that wrecking ball. People getting quite a lot of work done on that character. Now it's going to be Debug looking for the kill against Recurve, but he's also looking to kill pretty much anybody on the field. Cold Plum comes out. It's not going to find anybody, but
call
MVP
from
is going to find
Resurge.
himself on the wrong end of a hook. Is going to be taken down very quickly. Now it's going to be taken down by Debug, getting rid of that quite a lot of CC, and now it's going to be the Pulse Bomb coming out, not able to find anybody. Pipo looking for the final headshots, but it's going to be cleaned up by Pandemonium, and they're starting to run away with it here. Now the biggest lead, I believe, of this match, now at 4, but now they're going to be closing it down to 3. This is going to be Pipo getting that kill onto, it's going to be traded out immediately by Hayden. Now it's going to be the 3-kill lead for Made Cafe Light. Ignition, they got to get this turned around quickly.
And they absolutely do, with the tournament on the line there for Made Cafe. Like, they absolutely need to win this map, but it's been good character arc, I believe, for these Roadhogs. They've spent so much time in these cold depths of the Shattered Yard Lake. They've become fish themselves, and they've become very, very accurate fishermen. Green Bean, though, Distortion gets taken down by the hammer swing of SPT, doing so much speed damage. Sets the solo shatter onto the hog, going to be grouped off the map, 23-21. Ignition have done it. They close the gap. Beautiful fire strike onto Recurve, and now they've evened up. 7 kills is all that stands between Ignition and $50 US.
Yeah, and now they're going to be going onto the grab on a Green Bean, and now they have that lead back yet again. Made Cafe Light kind of losing it a bit. Green Bean now switching over to the McCree, getting a little bit bullied on the Hog as he just got solo ulted twice. The grab and the shatter only committed onto him. Now it's going to be Recurve looking for this Pulse Bomb. If he can get a big momentum shifting kill or 2, that could be absolutely massive for Made Cafe Light as they enter the final couple of kills here. Just 6 remaining for both teams. It's going to be bubbled though. Recurve not going to be able to find anybody. Hayden far up in the air. People not able to track him down quite effectively.
Oh, the ball!
Through.
I thought
Able to
Pipo
stay
was
alive.
there. That's an aggressive beat to come in, and they're looking for it. There we go. 5 kills left, ladies and gentlemen. It's all they need. Recurve, though, labels that Reinhardt, so with no shield, this competition for Ignition are going to be very, very shaky, and they should manage to pull it back. There we go. Recurve once again. SPT is respawned in a horrible place. Oh no, that's the worst thing you want to see. And now 27-25. Made Cafe have pulled ahead. 28 seconds left. Let's see what they're going to do. They probably should just, there we go, elect to regroup and take this high ground position. It's going to be final fight for all the marbles here. Made Cafe, are they going to be taking it to a map for, or Ignition going to be walking away with $50 US on the title of the Resurge 4v4 championship?
They're just running. It Made Cafe, they're hiding. They know that they are in the advantageous position unless Fennec hits a nasty hook, and it's not going to go their way. So now there's going to be the series staying alive for Made Cafe Light. They have tied it 2-1. Made Cafe Light are taking Chateau Guillard.
As expected, they bounce back, and they bounce back strong. This is a team that if you give them an inch, they will take a mile. Good swaps overall out. We've seen, interestingly enough, we've seen Hog Zarya basically all tournament. We saw none of it that last map. Chateau Guillard probably a bit worse for Hog Zarya in general, though, and we get the pick up and bye-bye, Piggy. The boy, that's a beautiful fight strike as well. I think Recurve was potentially just looking to reset here, and it was so close. Just a team fight or 2, and Ignition could have been going away with the entire thing.
Yep, and it looks like the players are calling for a break, basically ensuring that I'm not going to be able to get to my dining hall before it closes. So I'm going to have to go get some fast food somewhere, maybe some Wendy's if somebody from one of these teams wants to compensate me for this. I mean,
You got $50 US, guys. I'm sure.
yeah, somebody's going to get $50 US. I want at least 5 of it so I can pay for dinner. I mean, I feel like that's not too much to ask for.
No. And we're going to be going to a quick break now to give both teams a chance to rest, as it is going to be match point for Ignition still, but Made Cafe, they need to go perfect on the 2 maps. So yeah, I'll be back here in 5 minutes, probably 25 past the time that it will be or so. It's been so action-packed. So I cannot wait to get into map 4. Could potentially be the final map of the Resurge 4v4 tournament. We will see you all very, very soon. Don't go anywhere.
welcome back to our finals here. Made Cafe Light have now gotten this series to a 1-2. Ignition now still on match point as we look to go into our fourth map. I believe it's going to have to be Paris. But after this, I think that all the maps reopen up. It's going to be Ignition has had a pretty dominant run through this series. I mean, but Made Cafe Light, you can say the exact same thing about them. They hadn't dropped a map into this series, and they've already dropped 2. But they're still in this. They can still pull this back. They would just need to complete the reverse sweep.
There we go. They need to go perfect from here on out. They fixed technical issues. They came back with Chateau Yard, and they came back strong. The Maid Cafe is not ready for closure yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting into the next map any second now, and it's all to play for. Ignition, though, looked very strong, particularly in those 2 map prims, and it was very close on Chateau Yard as well. They've managed to find a nice groove, find a nice tempo, find a nice pace with this Reinhardt Lucio comp that's been coming out. They've been relying so much on Fennec and Debug on this Zarya McCree combo, and they've been matching together perfectly, doing so much damage in particular. And it really is just an insane amount of trust, because if your Zarya doesn't have high energy, if your McCree isn't hitting those shots, it can potentially be roped. So difficult to get back and get any hold into a series, and particularly against a team like Made Cafe Light. As I said, you give them an inch and they will take an entire mile. They might even take an entire state. They are that good. But so far, big props to Ignition, though. They've been playing this competition very, very well.
Yeah, and they've really been the only team that's pulled out the Reinhardt in this tournament, at least that we've seen. They might have pulled this out. They might have been pulled out on some off-stream matches, but so far on stream, the only person to play the Reinhardt really has been SBT. I know Green Bean pulled it out a bit towards the end of one of those maps, but we should be coming into this last map of Paris now. This is win or go home for Made Cafe Light. This is win or go to another map for Ignition, and both these teams fighting for $50.
There we go. We're going to be going over to Paris. So from one French lake to, I believe, the capital city of the mainland. And it's going to be same old, more expected. Ignition, this is the comp that they've been rolling with the entire map. Made Cafe going to start off. So no Ahi means that no Zarya, no MVP of the backpatch in Mari League. So they're relying on Distortion here to get immense value. And he's going to be on the Reaper, my favourite character. Special move, one of the best in the game, but with this initial high ground, initial spatial control, for Ignition, they're probably just going to chill. No objective to contest means they don't really have to hurry. They can just take their time, and what they're probably going to do is just wait for this window from Hayden. We've seen it a million times before. Just going to get resources, get Fennec onto energy, build up SVB's whole hog, build up Hayden's window, and just go from there.
Yeah, unfortunately for Distortion, it is not Friday, so he doesn't have that Reaper Friday buff. However, they still could get a lot of value against this very large comp and very high health pool comp that is being run by Ignition. SBT on this Hog. He's been on the Rhine more recently. However, pulling out the Hog here yet again has been doing pretty well on that. And a minute into this match, there still hasn't been a kill. And we're going to be moving in now. The window coming out. It's going to be Green Bean and Recurve getting the first 2 kills of this matchup. They're still keeping themselves in this series with those 3 kills, now taking the 4-0 lead.
Reaper dive comes in. Recurve managed to build himself up a pulse bomb in that first initial fight, as it was Tai Chi level of patience from Made Cafe Light. They did not want to make a mistake. And make a mistake, they did not. Distortion going to be rewarded with that spin to win special move. Death Blossom though. Debug finds Recurve lacking though, finds another one onto Pandemonium to swing that back. And we talked about Made Cafe and their limits, but Debug been all over the kill feed on this McCree, been getting so much value with this Peacekeeper just being able to sit back behind his tanks. And now Hayden going over to the brig, this could potentially be so nasty. It's Made Cafe slip up for a second, that's the hook that goes down, peeled away. Special move comes in as the bubble is popped, but no, it's taken down. However, Pico immediately trading back in response onto Fennec.
Yeah, and the fight ultimately going the way of Made Cafe Light. They've given themselves another 2 kills onto their lead, and now it's 7-3. It's gonna be a good hook.
Good hold from Distortion.
Yeah, Distortion has also switched over to that Hog, no longer on that Reaper, going for the slightly bigger shotgun character here, and he does have those hooks now. And Fennec has built up that Graviton Surge, or Graviton Surge. I keep on confusing that ult and Sigma's ult, but the grab comes out early. Recurve now in the back line. Debug looking for some kills here off the back of it, but the healing is too much onto Green Bean, and he's not going to be falling, but Debug is. Recurve able to get that kill to open things up, and now it's SBT fighting for his life. Green Bean now has no heals on him though. He's gonna be taken down, but Recurve again finding 2, make that 3. He's going off. He's an absolute warlord on the Tracer. Definitely not just that bar 1 trick that we know him as. He's now building up to this pulse bomb. He's gonna be looking to use it to extend this lead even more, but Debug's gonna shut that down.
Yeah, I was about to say, just before he got caught down by that flashbang, his debug is making a case. Recurve absolutely stating for MVP here was look at the composition from Ignition. Hod, Brig, and McCree with 225 HP. How rough is that for a Tracer to play against, ladies and gentlemen? Any Tracer players in the chat will know how difficult it is, but Recurve is finding so much value here. Fenix swapped off his area to go over to a Tracer himself, going to be lightning fast towards that pulse bombers. Now, I really like these interesting adaptations that Ignition are making. They're going to be a bit more brawly, but it's all going to be about how they can handle this Tracer of Recurve. If they stop him from going absolutely running wild, rampant, sort of Randy Savage style on their backline, then they might be able to go back in the series. SBT gets him out of Recurve, but just moved off the map by the swing from Peepo.
Yeah, now it's going to be Pandemonium traded out, but Hayden going to be taken down, but both of the Tracers are going to be in the backline quite a bit. Now it's going to be a 4-point lead for Make Cafe Light. They haven't given up this lead yet in this map. That's really the first time that they've been in this position where they've had this dominant hold on the lead, but that could be going down away soon as Recurve is taken down. That could be the go button for the rest of Ignition to bump in onto the rest of the enemy team. Could be the healing trying to go out onto Peepo, but he's pulled back in, almost went off the map. SBT says, no, you die on dry land, and he's gonna be taken down. Now there's the 2-kill lead. Ignition are getting aggressive here. They're looking for that hook off the back of SBT.
Absolutely, they are. Pandemonium for solo. He's only got this lamp now as his passive burst has been forced out. Distortion now. D-Bud puts that high noon straight through. This is the stick from Fennec, unfortunately not managing to find anyone. With 2 minutes 55 left on the clock, Made Cafe pulled themselves into a 2-kill lead, but they've got a whole hog available and rally as well. And this rally that can come out from Aiden, if it's perfectly executed, could just be a team wipe. It's going to give them so much survivability. One thing we've talked about all tournament is the max health pool, but when you give them armor on top of it as well, it's going to make them so tanky. Not too many survivability cooldowns. There we go. That's the fish onto SBT. Gets caught. Recurve finding that headshot. He's gone over to the tree now. So Cowboy Bebop for Recurve. Green Bean Distortion finds 2 just to clean those up, and now they've extended that lead even further. Unfortunately, that hook is just going to be going wide, but unfortunately that one not going to be going wide. D-Bud finds the pick off on SBT after he dragged in Peepo on this. Sorry, is SBT potentially pain chomp again? Misery Compiler as he gets sent against the wall. That's another hog. Oh my, these hogs are getting just abused so far, Drayton.
Yeah, and it's going to be Recurve getting the better of Debug there. Now it's a 7-kill lead, just 9 left for Make Cafe Light to pull ahead. Recurve now shorting that to 8, but Peepo has been taken down, losing all of that charge. And now it's going to be a 6-kill lead as Debug's able to get the 2 kills off the back of those fights. Now it's going to be the ultimate advantage, looking like it's in Ignition's favor. They have that Zarya ult coming online very shortly, but Peepo does as well.
Yeah, and absolutely the win condition here for Made Cafe Light is this Graviton Surge. Potentially this window could come up even faster actually, but there's going to be very easy tight potential, so much hard cover that exists on Paris. So Pandemonium, if he finds anything in this window, it's got to be perfect. D-Bud goes on the flank though, finds Recurve with the help of Fennec on the Zarya. That's the whole uncommitted window forced out in response, not able to find anyone. Recurve desperately pulls the high noon, he says it's time up at 12 o'clock to try and zone, but no, SBT finds Pandemonium after that lamp is going down. The Graviton Surge is going to find 3 as well, but from the jaws of defeat after the barrage of ultimates that came in from Made Cafe Light, Ignition are going to swing it and even up the score.
Yeah, they came back from down 6 in that fight, just constantly staying alive. That is all on Hayden and this Baptiste. I mean, to keep your entire team alive through a grab, through the window, through the high noon as well. I mean, that is just some excellent gameplay. Now he's going to be focusing down Green Bean, and now the lead is finally back in Ignition's favor. They only need 7 more kills to prevent the dreams of Made Cafe Light coming true. SBT looking around to try and get back to his team. Maybe going to be looking for a hook, but it looks like somebody's on the flank here. I believe that's Green Bean. He could be caught out here if they are found by Ignition, but not going to be getting that lucky. But it's 18 seconds left. They could win this by time.
Oh, they're just going to do it to them. They did it in the first one. They're just going to kite, but I don't think there's too much to kite here with this Roadhog Hawk. This is going to be a game of
There's zoning high noon.
D-Bud going with the high noon in 6 seconds left. It's 22-23.
They need the
Ignition
hook.
have, they found it. They're not going to manage to get it.
They've done it.
And they've done it. Ignition through time and time only. With the high noon, they're going to kite it. It is a game, you know. Time is a thing, is a factor, ladies and gentlemen. And Ignition, with the help of a high noon, with the help of time, are going to be your first Resurge 4v4 elimination champions. Congratulations to them.
Kind of a weird way to win it, like Recurve said. But I mean, if you're gonna let them have that time advantage as they, I mean, it's kind of weird that you guys gave up a six kill lead. I mean, that's kind of on you to have the 22 to 16 and then have it immediately disappear. But I mean, it's also kind of dishonorable to run away from that fight. But
It was one kill as well. It was one kill. But
they knew they needed that one kill. They saw the time, and honestly, I wasn't even aware of the time, so that's good on them to figure that out.
it's a very ballsy move, as potentially when they were running away, that high noon really helped them, and they just couldn't peek into the sight line. So even if they'd have held in a spot with high noon, that high noon I think would have been nice to zone it out anyway, but the disengage just made it even easier. Sometimes inaction is action, ladies and gentlemen. You know, there was no need for Ignition to go in there and make a silly mistake. It was on Maid Cafe to come to them. So potentially if we get winners interview, MVP voting, not sure how that's going as well. My man of the match or man of the series would probably go to, I think Fennec showed up on basically everything, was I think the pivotal factor on that Zarya throughout the entire series, and he swapped over and did a fantastic job on the Tracer, on the Kree, and on some of the lesser known picks as well. Don't think he played ball as the navigated flex. That was purely navigated by SBT, but I think Fenekusu would be my MVP. Popped off basically the entire game, and hey, it's a Herculean effort to take down Maid Cafe Light, and Ignition, well deserved. Congrats to them.
I'm gonna slightly disagree with you on that one. I think that SBT gets the MVP nods from me, just because that Ryan, when he pulled it out, it was
Game changing.
it changed the game. I mean, the Hog was also pretty good, but I mean, it all came down to really just the tanks. I think. I mean, you could give it to either one.
You should give it to everyone.
Fennec pulled out some insane value on Zarya. I mean, going to toe with the reigning MVP Ahi. So, I mean, they did well in this tournament. I think they're gonna be walking home with about $10 apiece.
Yep.
And actually, they did have 4 slots on their team, if I remember correctly. So, I mean, if they each wanted $10, there's $10 for my dinner there.
There is hashtag feed Drayton in the chat.
Yes.
Hashtag give this man a Wendy's.
Yes, pay for my Wendy's.
I've not tried Wendy's actually. Well, at some point we should do a BPL stream to rank NA fast food tier list. I have no opinion, but see what everyone thinks. What's your go-to? Baconator or nothing? I've seen the Baconator. Like BPL mukbang. Pause champ. We're gonna get a couple of people joining in the VC right now. My final words, but before that, congrats, this whole tournament was a massive success. Tox guys did so much work from this production, putting so much effort, spectating, casting, observing as well. With the help of Solomon, we managed to put it together last minute and put it on the BPL channel.
Very last minute.
So good though. I guess that.
Well, thank you everyone for coming. We had some actual. That was a really good finals. Did not expect it to be quite so close. That was really good. Thanks to everyone who came, especially the teams. There was a few external teams from outside of BPL. It was actually really fun to see them come join in, and especially thanks to the casters Drayton and Jace, especially for stalling yesterday when we had some tech issues, and then Solomon kind of carrying the stream because of my.
Yeah, I will take responsibility. Yesterday's tech issues were basically my fault because
we
had this amazing system. Well, not amazing. Sorry, I mean, had this whole tournament plan. I'm like, okay, but now you're gonna do like every single bit of production by yourself as well. So that's why everything took forever. So if we do another thing like this, we'll probably make it so that I will reclaim my production throne, and everything should be a lot smoother, especially for the first day. So.
I'm not gonna lie. Without Solomon, it probably would have been a lot more scuffed. You made a lot of the stuff look better than it would have without you. So
Easy clap.
Well, I'm off to go stuck with some gamers. GG's all.
Yeah,
Not
thank you everybody for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you to the casters as well for this interesting. You guys, honestly, you guys bring the worst out in each other. Like every other sentence, it's like some sort of pun or like some like sex act, but like it's
What?
sneakily put
I said
in.
reverse cowgirl once.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
the
Every
one.
time we
Yeah,
mentioned
he said it
sex
one time, and he got a
Okay.
bonk from me.
Yeah, that's pretty good though. I was
It
like,
was
how
only
the hell
once,
did you get
and I
it in?
needed it for the show reel.
yeah.
And Matt
Smart
put that
man,
as an opening
yeah.
clip on the serial. I guarantee it. You will not be hired for 9 months. I don't fucking.
Well, it would be good test to see who actually watches them. So
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
Yeah.
genius.
but yeah, with that, we're gonna close out the show today. Thank you everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed everything. Oh, look at that, we've got the
Ooh.
new view.
A special
only one
thanks.
camera, so.
Special thanks to Mark for carrying the game mode that I only that I kind of made, and he kind of fixed it and made it so it actually worked.
He's been observing the whole time. He's been doing the workshop code. It's insane. What we wouldn't do without BPL Mark. It's insane. Yes, thank you everybody. It's been a hell of a day. We'll see you at some point for another BPL event or something. Thanks for everybody.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.